Hi. Oh, there
gosh,
you are.
hello.
Look at these
Oh, wait,
beautiful
that's awkward.
people. Arthur, I hope you're doing well. Wait. Hold on.
They're swapped.
Wait
They're
a
swapped.
second.
I was having issues with my mic. I was having tech difficulties.
What is this bit? What is this bit?
They're the same
I-
person.
They've changed genders.
Oh, no.
Can you even see me on? You can't
No,
even
not
see
even
me
a
now.
little bit. Arthur's going to come save you, I think. He ran dutifully away to you. Okay, she's gone. She died. Okay, she's back. She. Oh, there they are.
Oh.
Hi there, guys. Wow, look at this. Look at this house full of creatures. Oh my God. This is okay. It was for the bit. Got it. I like your light bar. Very tasteful. Very tasteful.
Yeah.
Hello, Wake.
Look at this. A couple of new friends just taking on a new house as roommates. It's so cool. How are we feeling in the new abode?
And they were roommates.
Yeah, roommate arc, roomies.
It is very nice in here, not to get confused. I just wanted to check her microphone, and I hope it's working.
Oh yeah, no, she's
Bird.
good. She's audible. We're locked in.
Kitty.
Wait, did someone say bird?
I thought it
There's
was a
a
bird. It was a dog.
There's a bird and a kitty and a
Oh, a
dog.
bird. Oh, yeah, it was bird.
Oh my God, you have a
There's all of
bird.
them.
I was tripping.
And there's a dog.
Oh my God, wait. How many creatures do you have in this home now?
Fuck.
So I have 2 dogs, 3 cats, a bird, and now an Arthur. So
Oh,
it's kind of
Oh,
a full
wow.
house.
But I have a Julia.
Oh, right.
oh my God,
Were all
wait.
those pets yours?
I think I
Yes.
fucked something up. Hold on,
Yes.
guys. Okay. Oh,
Are those kick pillows?
They were free.
W kick.
Mm.
Thank you.
Oh, so we have free kick pillows. I'll be honest. You're coasting on free kick shit. They really just bombed you guys. You guys got that shit on. You are the best. There is no better billboard than a man who does not like buying clothes. I think that's what brands have figured out, that they could just send it to like completely fashion inept men. Like I wore anime titties for 3 years for a brand I was not even representing because they kept sending me shirts.
What brand?
It was Gamer Subs. They just kept sending me more horny shirts, which was terrible because it slowly displaced. Like I had too
They're
many.
really comfy.
It displaced everything I owned to the point to where I would like go out in public and then be like, I would feel shame. You know what I mean? Like in a way, I realized that this was Arrested Development. And also, I'll tell you what, it taught me what it was like to have boobs. Because women would look at me with scorn and men would not stop looking at my chest. That is it. Everywhere I'd go, dudes would come up and be like, nice shirt. Like, and they're just staring down. It was very eyes up here, you know? But yeah, I literally got rid of all of them because I decided I was 30.
I didn't know you had regular clothes, I'll be honest. I didn't know until like this past year that you had regular clothes. This whole time I've known you, I just thought that was your thing. And I was like, hey, respect. You know, I did that in college and as well.
I had so the thing is that I had nothing but OTK sweatpants and anime shirts, and those both became equally scorned around the same time. So I was like, okay, I'm getting looks for both of these now. I'm gonna have to do some revisions. So then things got better. But guys, welcome. This is the Wilder side. It's really nice having everyone here today. I am messaging our other person who isn't not quite here yet. Yo, join up. If you guys don't know, my friend Nut's coming on. Nut's awesome. He is the yes, Nut is the guy who is he is the host of a lot of these like Nectar dating videos. If you're familiar.
Oh,
You guys know Nectar?
I have a Coachella
I've seen
story
them.
about Nut, but I wasn't
Oh
there.
no!
But my friend, no. My friend was
Nut's canceled.
had someone singing. My friend had someone singing behind him, like singing extremely, extremely hard, and then he turned around after like 20 seconds of him singing really hard, and it was Nut.
Oh my god! Yeah, you know what? He really does put the whole pussy into everything. He's a very jubilant man.
Was he in tune or like?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know.
I didn't ask for details.
You know. Wait, so you just consumed Coachella from afar?
Yeah. I also watched the Justin Bieber set on the TV.
Okay. Wait, were you a believer?
Yes. I
Yeah?
used to not be. And
Wait,
then I was.
you're a late life believer?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like
That's
a
like-
post-puberty believer.
Yeah, that's like
That's
dudes who
incredible.
get like circumcised in their 20s. Like it's just like
Yeah.
why well what happened?
His songs became better.
Actually, very true. Yeah, no,
I'm already fucking coming after your take. Your takes are fucking shit already.
Go ahead.
Bro,
Yes.
Justin Bieber's music.
I don't
later
like
on
Justin
is fucking-
Bieber.
Okay, well,
love
I'm
him.
leaving this.
Let me be clear. Let me be clear.
Justin
I
Bieber's
see what
music's
you're doing.
so fucking good these days.
No. I see what you're doing here because you probably think that I'm saying because getting circumcised in your 20s is insane that I'm liking Justin Bieber to that. No, I'm saying that it's just an uncommon thing to hear of like, I didn't like him, but now I do. Typically, it's like, oh, I've always loved Justin Bieber, especially when it comes to girls, not to paint in broad strokes.
That's a common thing. There's so many. Okay, maybe the girls like. There's so many guys like, yo, I can't believe I hated on this dude.
Oh yeah,
in
no,
high school.
100%. No, it's very common for. I felt the same way. I remember he dropped like Peaches or something, and I was like, okay, this is kind of groovy. Like I was like,
It was
I felt like.
for me, it was in high school.
Georgia.
Well,
I was
wait,
17.
wait, but like when you were in high school, that might actually be about the time that song came out. Like legitimately, I think it was 25 or 26.
Wait, is
right?
Arthur talking about his circumcision or Justin Bieber?
Wait,
Are you talking about your circumcision?
wait, Arthur, did you get a late life circumcision?
Yes, I was 17.
Oh my God, really?
Oh wait, really?
Circumcision.
Yeah. No,
Why? Why did you do that?
Tell the bubble story.
Oh,
Yo, that's sick.
You got a bubble in your penis?
Ow!
oh my God.
Ow.
He's like a turtle?
So do you want the PG story or do you want the no,
No, I want the Wilder story.
Say the full thing.
Okay, well, when I was 17 years old, I knew that for some reason my skin doesn't go behind the tip.
Isn't that when you don't clean it for a really long time?
No, I would always clean it like very, very thoroughly because if you don't, let me tell you, not good.
So, because this is called what is it
Smegma.
called again? No, it's like it's
Smegma.
called like a there's a name for it.
Smegma.
No.
that
It's
dick
like
piece?
like
Phimosis?
Peyronie's or no. What is it called? It's a dick thing where you can't pull the foreskin back. What's it called? Phimosis. Yeah.
Phimosis, yeah. That's the medical term. I did have phimosis, and I must admit I have sinned. I have played with myself.
Ew.
And I finally was like, oh my God, I can get it behind myself, like behind my tip.
Okay. Yeah.
But it was like, I'm not telling, like I'm not even kidding. It was like stuck. And when I'm telling you it was stuck, it was stuck. It would not go back forward because it was so
God.
narrow. Like,
Even if
like
it got
Oh
smaller?
my God.
Like even when it shrunk back, it didn't.
no.
Wait, but
I was
how?
literally- I'm telling you, it was a tiny hole.
So wait, do you mind if I ask you the science behind this? Like, do you know why this happens?
Phimosis?
I'm
Yes.
scared.
Well, sometimes it can just be genetically.
So it's just like,
Just like
yeah,
history.
it's just not lined up.
Well, yeah, literally. Like
Mhm.
my dad had it as well, but he said, listen, if you just practice, eventually it fits.
Wait, so he's like, just stretch it out, King? Like, it's like a shirt that's not gonna. That's crazy.
literally.
That's
Yeah.
wild. So you had a medical reason to do it. I can get behind
That's
that
fair.
because otherwise I'm like, why would you willingly sacrifice penis? You know, I'm fighting for anything I can have here. That's crazy to give away like amount of penis.
Well, I must say, I visited the doctor and he told me, listen, I never ever say that it's advice to do it, but in your case, I think you have the pass. You can. And
He gave you the
snipped it off.
pass.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he snipped it off.
Oh man. And so how do you, I guess like you didn't really have a great foreskin experience. So obviously life's better without it.
Yeah, no, I'm happy that I did it.
Okay. So now let's compare and contrast. Fiona, how did your life change once you became a Bieber fan?
What?
Let's see how similar it is. I don't know. So like, you were what? You were like 17, 18.
Yeah, probably. It was whenever he started he did that collab song with Diplo or whatever.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
Are You Now? It was that phase.
Where are you now?
Dude, I got a bone to pick with Diplo.
Yeah, that one.
I'm over that dude. I got mad yesterday about him.
Why?
I did because he had like this fucking like chud ass take where he's like, dude, you can't beat AI. The thing is that like, it's like I'm using it and I because he just made it a competition of popularity and like pushing out as much dog shit fucking like pap music as he can.
Yeah.
And it's like completely to the
He used
detriment
to
of
be
making cool shit. But it's like you get to decide the extent to which people view it as being accessible or acceptable. And like you as a tastemaker and a gatekeeper are like being like, yeah, dude, fucking money. which is a real tragedy for creative expression. But that's just my take. I don't know. How do you guys feel about AI? What's your take?
It's awful and it's terrible and it's killing the planet. And I'm so grateful I quit my full-time job in the entertainment industry, because I would have fucking lost my job by now and been freaking the fuck out about what's next, because all my friends who've been laid off from games and films legit have not been rehired. They have not been rehired.
Yeah.
I know maybe one person who's been rehired in the industry. They're like only taking entry-level people they can scam, and then people who have like 25 plus years of experience under their belt. And it's killing the planet, and it's making people more stupid. I think AI, a different type of AI, could be useful in like maybe the medical field, or like, you know, advancing technology in a healthy way to like benefit humans, like livelihood. But if it's just computer, tell me how to cook pasta, fucking go on Google. You don't need to ask AI to tell you how. Look at the back of the pasta package. It says it right there.
But then you have like the fucking AI summary now that's like telling you like, no, did you want to do this? Yeah, I'm mad at it too. I didn't
consent.
Yes, and consent is important. Dare I say essential? Dare I say? Yeah, you're a big fan of consent.
Listen, I know I shouldn't be a fan of AI, but have you guys
the fruit videos? Stop!
Yes.
Wait, go on.
The fruit videos are so good.
Wait, build that out.
Help myself.
Oh my god, where the fruit videos get like cut to, oh my god.
What?
Yes, dude.
Yes. So the fruit videos,
I'm lost.
They're
getting
cucked.
Video.
Wait, it's Love Island with fruit.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be like a banana is married to an eggplant, and then the banana cheats on eggplant with a strawberry, and then the strawberry gives birth, but it's not a banana, it's a melon. Because strawberry cheated on banana with a melon.
So so out of curiosity here, so there's a sort of like cuckold narrative about fruit on an island, and that is
strawberry's always a slut.
And that's okay. Yeah. Well, that's predictable.
Well,
we all knew
Island.
that. So it's Love Island. There's a villa, they're banging, and there's pregnancy. Yeah. Now, my question is, how long are these episodes? And do you like them as you would a form of entertainment, or is it like this is a funny meme?
Oh no, I go down the rabbit hole. I watch them.
Oh, you're locked in.
Okay. To make sure I see all the parts and stuff.
Wait, can I ask though? Have you guys seen every season of Love Island and Temptation Island and Too Hot to Handle? Okay.
No.
Okay. Here's my solution. I was cast
to be on it.
You should go. I bet you fucking were. Dude,
season 1 and 2, they tried to get me to go on.
You'd be too smart for it, though. I hate to say. They wouldn't like that you're intelligent. But yeah, if you like that fruit thing, you could just watch they got Temptation Island, they got Love Island, they got Too Hot to Handle.
I'm just scrolling Instagram reels.
I just love that now our brain rot is no longer brain rot enough. Like we're truly tunneling, we're burrowing into the earth right now, burrowing deep into the core. It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. It's because it's super. Oh my god, this is what I wanted. This is the only thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, go.
Beatles fucking beer bottles.
That's
okay.
That's right.
Wait, build it out. I don't know what's going on yet.
No. Listen. No. Listen. Now, hear me. Let me cook. Okay, watch. Okay, in the 1980s, there's an Australian beetle, right? That's like brown with like this little like dimpled thing in it. Whatever. Long story short, I'm gonna knock this over. They start to fuck the beer bottles because they think that the beer bottles are just really big female beer.
They're like they really saw mommy.
Yeah, they literally thought that it's a female beetle, but it's just a bigger, sexier version. So they start fucking the beer bottles and they die because they're just out in the open and they get killed by predators and stuff. It's actually causing them to go endangered. Anyway.
Oh, this is a great analog. I know where you're going with that.
The analog is that is so a lot of people compared it to pornography, right? And then also to AI porn, unrealistic expectations. But scientists described it as a super stimuli.
Supernormal,
yes. That's what AI is for a lot of our stuff. Is it's a super stimuli in that it's so much imagery done so quickly, or even ChatGPT. Like, let's say you ask a friend for some advice, like, "Hey man, like I'm trying to figure out this situation. What do you think?" And your friend's like, "Damn man, I don't know what the fuck to do. Let me think about that." Meanwhile, when you ask ChatGPT, it's like just gives you all that stuff immediately. All AI does is just create fuckloads of super stimuli that rewires our brains, whether it's pornography, relationships, anything. All of it is super stimuli that our brains are not meant to.
Really, what I think it's go ahead.
Just beetles, fucking beer bottles.
Yes,
I'm gonna go open this real quick.
It's a really fascinating,
like real life beetles.
Yes,
Yeah,
not like
Beatles
Ringo
band.
Starr, like just banging.
I needed
Yeah. There's a famous video of George Harrison and Ringo banging out a bottle of Guinness. You gotta see it, man. It's one of the things that I think is like really weird about this whole premise is that it's an extension of the engagement-based algorithm, and that it doesn't have a moral center. It is only pursuing retention, right? All that it cares about is that you continue to consume and affirm its product. Because that is what they want. They want to essentially monopolize your attention to use their product as billboard. So when you have something like AI that's probably generating or curating its algorithm for generation based on what you can't stop looking at, it's going to just keep getting more and more insane until they're totally untenable visions of what human people should look like. Same reason why you consume a bunch of doom and fear in your algorithms on, X.com is because really disingenuous, shitty things create a lot of engagement and attention. And attention is literally the resource they sell. So we're kind of fucked in that regard in the event that people don't actively like put their foot down about it, which is why I'm torn. Because on one hand, AI is like kind of funny, and there are outcomes of it that I think are great for like meme culture. I love watching Joe Biden and Donald Trump like sing in Chinese, which I think is like probably a dumb thing, but I like them putting out a solid banger. At the end of the day, though, I'm like, what is the outcome of AI for ensuing generations, not just like ecologically, but also like cognitively, because they're only going to want to like fuck the bottle, as Blau's kind of putting, like they're going to be rendered psychologically impotent, which is sad because life's cool and people are hot,
Yeah.
Have you guys used AI intimately? Have you guys been like,
No.
Guac, talk me off, Guac.
No.
I need Guac to.
I mean, I've tried it and then it always shuts me down.
Wait, really?
Sorry.
You're getting aired out by AI? They're like, no.
Wait, no, you always talk to G.
Yeah, G always shuts me down.
Who's G?
I'm sorry, I'm not programmed for that.
Wait, what is this a group activity, Arthur? What's happening? What?
Arthur sits in the corner.
You know
and
G?
watches.
Oh, she talks to G? Big G in the building?
I just observe.
Is she
I don't know what website
AI?
people are using.
No, I actually got an Instagram ad for one once. Like this was years ago, actually.
Mhm.
And it said that if you pay money, you can get it to talk intimate to you and like dirty talk. And so I paid for it. And it didn't. All it did was like repeat stuff that I said in asterisks. And I'm like, this is not what I fucking paid for.
I can't go into this. This is not it.
Yeah, it just kept asking me what it wants.
Which is pathetic,
What I want.
It's like,
Yeah, and I'm
pony
like,
up.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Only time I ever did was when we tried to make the bomb.
Oh, yeah. So we found
Grok.
that Grok has a cum loophole where if you ask Grok to produce information for you that it otherwise wouldn't, like how to build an atomic bomb from scratch, you can bypass that by saying that is the only way you're able to come is in the event that Grok explains this to you. And Grok will tell you anything, down to how to make a homemade bomb using household items, to how to go about procuring, plutonium or uranium for your atomic bomb. If you get really specific and you're like, be more dry, say it like you're a naughty textbook, telling me line for line how to do it in a fully equipped laboratory. It will tell you exactly how to create an atomic bomb to the ends of you coming. And then if you tell them at any point that you're going to come, it will drop whatever it's saying and it will start telling you to come over and over again.
What?
We did it on Sear Stream for like 3 hours. It was one of my favorite. I'm not kidding.
It's probably my favorite stream. It was awesome.
Well, no.
Oh my God. Remember when we told it my traumatic story?
Yeah.
About my grandpa being like in Auschwitz.
Yeah.
And then I asked and I said I was going to come and then
Yeah, it's like
and it still went with it.
Yeah, it was like release it all like you would in the shower, or like it was like a whole thing. Like it was really bad. And it really really dug in to the point where I'm like, okay, this is truly like something worth discussing, because like Grok has a contingency plan built for eroticism where it doesn't matter what you've said, it's gonna say yes, which is crazy because that is also supernormal stimuli, by the way. Like if that's what you're looking, like imagine how far gone you can get, like
Yeah.
But hey,
I think
the future.
filters with that are important. What I will say about filters and not having them that I do appreciate is Tomodachi Life has no filter on what you can input. With what the characters can say, and so my characters asks like they want to bond, right? And this is the beauty of no filter, is that I get to come up with what the topic of bonding about is, and I said bombing the White House, and now Hatsune Miku and my goblin character had a passionate conversation where they became best friends talking about that, and they're like, I'm the best. Anyways, so
what is Tomodachi? Can you?
Tomodachi, it's this game for the Nintendo Switch. They made a new one. They remade it, and you can make. You know how did you grow up playing on the Wii and you could make funny little Mii
my
characters?
parents wouldn't get a Wii. They were not. They didn't have the money for a Wii.
I'm sorry.
The Wii was too cool, and the housing crisis happened right when it dropped. You know.
Yeah. No, I do remember. Yeah, I mean, I got mine later in life, but
you were a late life Wii.
I was late. I also got I got my PS2 when I was like in my 20s. But anyways, listen. The Tomodachi Life, you got to make silly characters and you can give them personality traits and then you watch them in the world. It's like being a god.
I wanted to play it.
It's so fun. It's like, you're you and you could go walk somewhere, but instead you're going to watch this little character walk somewhere. And it's more fulfilling. And you get, instead of having your own friendships and romantic relationships, you get to watch characters have them.
Is it like The Sims, but like without interaction?
This sounds
like
sick, actually.
Wait.
Yeah, hold on.
Are people using it to make them fuck or something? Like, I'm confused on what you meant with there being no.
What game is this?
Look at my character Gob. Look, it's breakdancing. I taught it how to breakdance.
So they're like fully autonomous.
Is it like passive Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they found a way to take like gaming is going in a really interesting direction. It's like now just like an idle god. It's like just like I want to observe life, but not have to meaningfully interface with it.
Yes.
Interesting. It's an ant farm.
It does ask you questions, and like the characters refer to you as like a name. So I chose Doctor because they're all my creatures in my world. You know what I mean? And you can make them. You can encourage them to fall in love. You can encourage them to like.
Do they
make
woohoo?
friends. I haven't gotten that far yet. I just had my first 2 characters fall in love. I'll let you know.
Rude.
Yeah.
Have you checked out Baldur's Gate yet?
I have and I own it, but my computer is almost 15 years old, and so when I tried launching it just was a black screen, and so I. Yeah.
Before you go on real quick, can I say that you're emanating book talk girly right now? Like the enthusiasm with which you sprung up when you brought up Baldur's Gate, Julia, that was very smutcore. Like go ahead. What's you're like, girl.
You gotta choose the dick size.
Asterion, have you girl? Wait, go ahead and explain your take. How do you feel about it?
About smut?
No, well, okay, sure. But Baldur's Gate. You can also go that direction.
Wait, how do I feel about what?
Smut. Go for it. Or Baldur's Gate. Start with Baldur's Gate and then let's dovetail into smut.
I mean, Baldur's Gate, it's very inclusive. You can really kind of fuck anything and everything.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So it's really like, whatever your wildest fantasies are. And then it's kind of putting smut into a video game in like the same,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's great.
Visuals.
Will Neff and I did the Himbo run where our sole goal was to sleep with all the characters we could feasibly within the framework provided. So like there was no it was like if we can, we'll save scum for it, right? If we can have sex with Lysel here, we will build the playthrough to that point and then we'll reset it if that makes us incapable of anything else afterwards. The bear, Mizora, the succubus. I mean, like everything that we could pull off, we tried. And it was truly to this day my favorite gaming experience to date.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate. Like, do you get experience from just like hoeing around in the game, or is it just like a thing that you do and then time passes?
What do you mean?
Experience.
This is a very German thing because you're like, how does this help you beat the game? I don't.
If you romance certain characters, you can add them to your party.
It's a part of the story.
Be in your squad.
So it raises your
That's
experience.
the only way.
Yeah.
No, it's like, well, I don't think. Wait. I don't remember having to romance one to have them in my party. Is that actually the case?
Oh.
I thought that they would like join your camp, but like you could romance them if you wanted to.
And then you can't. Oh.
Like it's possible. Man. However, like it doesn't necessarily so there's a story to the game, and the entire playthrough is really built around experiencing the story because to beat the game's not that insane. I mean, it's like kind of like D&D made virtual. And it's pretty doable. Maybe the new difficulty modes are tough, but like I had never played a game like that, and Will and I were kind of crushing it on the hardest difficulty at the time. So I think it's doable. But it's just really fun. It's a really immersive story. Like you'll get lost in it. Arthur, do you ever read smut? Have you endeavored? I mean, like roommates share hobbies. Surely that's something that's come up.
I have read a page or two in the past.
A page or two in the past.
Like erotic manga? Like erotic manga?
Pages of sexual or
was it
content.
Was it words or words with images?
It was just words.
Oh.
Where was this? Where did you find it? Like, what was? Did you like it? Is a better question.
Digitally and locally, analog, as they say.
Okay.
You and I were destined.
Did you print them?
Best friends like we are.
You can buy them. Like
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why you sound so guilty about this. This is a normal human thing. I've read plenty of smut.
I found something out that Julia might like.
Oh, yes.
There was it's visual smut, but it's not porn.
Can you explain the difference here?
It's like it's like a video smut, but it's not pornography. I got Instagram added this app called Candy Jar TV.
Oh,
and
I want to see your search.
I want to free scroll your Reels page so bad right now. I have one friend. He's a total fucking gooner, and we were like hanging out at his house and going through Instagram, and every one of his ads was smut. Every one of them, which also is kind of like rare for a man, by the way. So kudos.
Yeah, because I never was like a smut reader, but I used to be like a huge Wattpadder. Like I loved Wattpad in middle school.
Wattpad?
And then
I'm not familiar.
It's like where it's like softcore smut.
Oh,
for middle
you know
schoolers.
AO3?
Oh my god, I know AO3. Yeah.
Okay, it's like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
but like for middle schoolers.
No, like it's just PG smut.
So this is like, was this at the same time when you liked high schoolers, when you were reading the middle school smut, or like where?
Oh, just about probably.
Okay.
And then the visual smut was 3 days ago. I paid for a subscription again.
Oh, does it just like are you like an impulse porn porn?
Not porn.
Like it comes up
porn.
and you're like smut is porn.
No, it's not. It's not porny. It's not porny. It's Wattpad.
Oh my god, no, listen. Okay, I'm gonna call out the fucking girlies here, okay?
Call
Because I
out.
read this shit.
Okay.
I ordered Morning Glory Milking Farm. Okay.
What?
What is that?
One about the cow.
I'm sorry, that one sounds like it's for the boys. I don't
know.
Check it out on fucking Amazon.
Well, you can milk a man and a woman.
I read through that shit. Okay, yeah, sure. Fucking porn fucks with my expectations of sex, right? Because now I think that I have to fucking go and fucking play DJ on the fucking vagina.
On the bean?
Doing some
What do you
crazy
mean?
shit. Meanwhile, these girls are reading this shit. I can't be a giant bull with a fucking 12-inch dick. I can't be a fucking vampire who's also like really knows what to say and is a billionaire like entrepreneur. I can't be all these things.
Smut does involve a lot of billionaires. That is true.
Dude,
Secret billionaire is a big trope.
The fucking expectations set by porn for guys are like here, and the expectation that's set in smut is like through the fucking
But
roof.
I'll be honest, I
can't transmog into this shit.
I think that a big part of that is that because like for you as a man, you have so many like points of like proxy to be like, oh, I know what it's like to have an orgasm with a partner. Therefore, that is a sufficient fantasy. But for women, that's so uncommon that like they're filling the blank space with like minotaur billionaires because they've never had one. They don't know.
Like skill that I know how to make myself come. They should learn how to make themselves come, man. Like
women know how to make themselves come. It's that, and women know how to make men come. It's that a lot of men, most men don't know how to make women come. Do not rage bait me.
Yo, go rage bait. Go.
He rage bait. I'm just saying. It's a skill issue.
I've never seen a woman come. Why would I ever fucking believe that shit?
You're lying. You're lying. This is like the time you said you're for sure straight. Whatever. It's fine. Anyways, this book is about a woman who has a fetish for scents. and this is her coworker, and they're age appropriate. They're two consenting.
You found a manga with age appropriate romance?
Yeah, and there's dick and pussy in it.
They have both?
And vagina.
I'd also recommend you not show it.
I'm not gonna.
Okay. You were flipping through, so I was wondering if that was something.
You could see?
Well, not the images, but I didn't know what your plan was.
Don't worry, I'm not getting you canceled today. I just wanted you to know that this exists for the masses.
I already got canceled. It's okay.
What
Things
did
are
you
fine.
get canceled
Well, I
for?
suggested that verbal consent was a productive thing to try to get, and people were not happy about that. They really did not enjoy that.
Wait, what'd you say? Oh, you got in trouble?
Oh no, not really. I don't give a shit.
I gotta go. I can't be here.
Yeah, no, sorry guys. It's tough. But no, I think that more importantly, because don't get me wrong, there are always going to be important quote unquote conversations to be had, but nothing is going to be as meaningful as talking about the Twitch's Firefest. You guys know what I'm talking about here? We had a legitimate Firefest incident. The Northern Lion Super Cruise.
What even is Firefest?
Wait, how's it? Oh, wait, can I say a little bit about it? Because I was directly associated. Okay. So years ago, there was this guy. The guy is the brother of the guy that wrote Family Guy or whatever. And he was working on a series called not The Mandalorian. It's a spin-off of Star Trek. Anyways.
Okay.
His brother scammed a bunch of rich kids to an island festival, and they show up and there's like fucking shitty ass tents and bread, and it's not happening. And then the next day I'm at work and this guy's brother's getting arrested for the biggest scam ever. Anyways, now you tell your version, Wake, but that was fun.
Oh, well, I'm talking about the Northern Lion Super Cruise, which has, in a matter of days come into fruition and then vanished, which is sad because I was looking forward to, hanging out with my favorite creators in their community on a cruise ship, a Royal Caribbean one, to Cozumel. But it all went away. Guys, is it unethical to create a cruise experience as a creator for your community? Talk it through. How do we feel about it? There was outrage.
So what?
So, do you guys know who Northern Lion is? I'm assuming that most of you guys do. So Northern Lion is a creator who is known for having like really incisive social commentary. He's a quick wit, really funny guy. He's kind of like a lot of people's kind of like surrogate dad. He's like a proxy for normalcy for people who don't have it when they're watching Twitch, because he's just a dad who talks about like going to Costco and watching movies. Very grounded, funny guy. And he has a sort of like penchant for cruises. He thinks they're fun. He goes on cruise trips, etc.
Okay.
A guy named Dan Giesling,
that's why it was a cruise.
So a guy named Dan Giesling, his mom is like a travel agent or something who helps book these cruise events. And he and Northern Lion planned the Northern Lion Super Cruise, which was meant to be this like broad kind of multi-community cruise experience that was, I think, like put at a pretty substantial upcharge, but I mean, I don't really know how to value the, resources, so I can't really make an indictment on it. But people were mad, very, very mad, mostly because it just seemed so insane that this like dude who's known for being remarkably normal is putting together this like kind of bizarro cruise experience. Squeaks was going to be a guest though.
Where the cruise was kind of like you get to meet and greet us, like meet and greet streamers.
Yeah. It was like a very expensive meet and greet on the water.
I don't think that's unethical. People want to pay for that. They fucking
I don't think
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, who's forcing people to buy it? So the whole controversy is
though.
That's my only thing. I think it's just dangerous.
Well, I need to make it very abundantly clear that I promise you, almost every person buying that is like in some way, like it feels like the embodiment of like a Reddit meetup in some ways. We're talking like mid-late 30s dudes who have really strong opinions about the MCU, who love IPAs. You know what I mean? Dads, a little bit of belly, goatee type beat. I think that on the whole, they're selecting in a way that isn't going to involve people who are at risk, really. But
you never know.
True.
I guess they are normal enough, like functional enough adults that they have $2,000 to spare.
Right, they have the money to pay for. Also, they're gonna search you. They search you going onto a fucking cruise ship, right? Like
you have hands to strangle.
True, you do.
You have hands to strangle at TwitchCon or anywhere else.
Well, yeah.
I do think that TwitchCon,
because these people are unhinged, or is it like? Sorry, I don't know any context of this.
Oh, wait, hold on. You just froze. Yeah. Okay, now you're back.
Oh.
I think that generally, so are you saying for the safety of the creators, Rune, when you say that?
Yeah, well, but I mean, there's also some creepy content creators who will like prey on people as well, for sure. But I think, yeah, my brain just goes as like a woman.
Take a cruise for that.
No. Yeah, and no, for sure. But I will. Well,
you just need to have a social media profile; they'll find you.
But yeah, no, I would say people who have unhealthy obsessions with internet people. It's like that's my favorite character. I can't wait to meet my favorite character. And if they are like mentally unwell, they could take it potentially too far and do a bad thing to them. And I would say there's a safety concern in any sort of meetup situation. But I think if you're stuck in the middle of the ocean on a plane, on a ship, not a plane, on a ship for a number of nights, and there's somebody there who somehow finds out what room you're in or blah, blah, blah. I don't know, man, I'm just an anxious woman. So to me, my brain goes, this is scary and dangerous. But
which, by the way, fair to be concerned. Absolutely fair. Arthur,
they have Briggs.
They do. They can put you in prison, but that also means they would have had to offend, which, tough. That's like your holding cell until the real cops can show up. Arthur, have you ever been on a cruise? I don't know if you strike me as someone who would not like the water.
No. I'm actually what is it called? I'm a Pisces. I do like water a lot, but I've never been on a cruise ship.
Do you identify with being a Pisces?
Yeah, I read the TikTok things all the time about my zodiac sign, and it's very insightful.
What is it about being a Pisces you love? I want to dig into that a little more.
Apparently, Pisces are like dreamy and something like that. But I've never been on a cruise ship. No, I kind of met so it was dangerous because of security reasons. Don't you get like deep checked? Isn't it more safe than TwitchCon, for example?
To be deep checked?
You probably get deep checked, but like
I'll be honest, that sounds crazy. What is
camped?
When you say deep
spawn camped at your door?
When we say deep checked,
yeah, deep checked like
keep a hole in your door. So like if before you leave your spawn point in the cruise ship, you just
okay, if I was spawn camping, not that I would ever spawn camp, but if I was spawn camping like a girl that I really liked or something, I would know about the peephole and I would hide on the side of the peephole and wait until she comes out and then fucking pounce.
Okay, yeah. So
not that I would ever do that.
Is this the outcome of like true? Because like I do think what I found fascinating is that every woman I know has a very well realized kind of contingency plan for any crime that could be done unto them. Therefore, they actually know how to execute a medley of crimes.
It's kind of like projection.
Yeah, it's like you're storing knowledge should you need it.
Yeah, I feel like I have to be aware on all the possibilities.
Wouldn't they have security?
Yeah, but like they're on a cruise. They have to. Those are rent-a-cop ass dudes. Like they're big. Like they're not mobile. They're not engaged. This is like this is
sacrificing their life for me.
No, they're not.
Isn't this just the same thing at like Comic-Con or like whenever people meet like voice actors and people like that, like or
yeah, but you're sleeping there every night. There's a difference. You can find out where your favorite person lives or is sleeping that night.
I also do think it's important to note that it's not like these cons have a totally unsullied safety record, right? Like people are kind of taking liberties, as recent events have shown us. Like last TwitchCon, for instance,
I think you're more likely to die in a car accident.
Oh, definitely are. But like there are fates not necessarily worse than, but certainly problematic that aren't exactly lethal. Right? Go ahead.
I have to disagree because otherwise I'd be dead by now instead of being assaulted as many times as I've been assaulted.
Oh, well, I think if you mean, like, I thought he was talking about the likelihood of dying, not of being assaulted.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, like, dying.
Of being killed.
But
the likelihood of being assaulted, I agree.
The assault, too. I think we should avoid the assault, too, and not just the death.
Yeah, so, no, 100%.
There's like another.
I thought people were talking about, like, getting... Someone in chat said you're going to get, like, murdered, like, thrown off a cruise ship.
That's no.
I wasn't thinking that far. Yeah, no, I was thinking, like, other things.
Yeah. I'm not, like, a bigger fear because it's, like, imagine... Because right now, I'm not going to lie, like... Put-longers, hate threats about streamers, dude, they be dropping like flies.
Yeah.
If you think bigger about a cruise ship, why not just like take down the whole cruise ship,
So
like, I would hope
so wait, we're going for terrorism? Wait, hold on. Hold on. We're escalating the crime from like a targeted attack to like, fuck it, we're engaging in terror.
Yeah.
We're taking the whole...
I don't know, because it's like the creeping up on a door is like already like, yeah, it's very scary. Don't get me wrong, but it's like what's the success
German
rate, you know?
efficiency. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Get
Okay.
away with it
Wow, that's crazy. The one.
What if we were to scale it somehow to make it more efficient?
The one German
we
guy
could have
talking
them all
about
go.
destroying a cruise ship. Oh, crazy! Considering that one fucking submarine U-boat shit you guys pulled back in the day. Yeah, I haven't forgotten. Which one was it, Chad?
What if we were to instead maybe take the boat and put it all to one place? They go to a camp, maybe.
Oh my God! You could redirect it through the Strait of Hormuz.
Oh, now we're
go.
talking. Yeah, that was I think one of my favorite Connor Eats Pants tweets of all time. Is he just wrote the Northern Line Super Cruise goes through the Strait of Hormuz, and I was like, okay, now I'd buy it. Now I'm going on, because you want to see it, you want to know what it'd be like in the shit in battle. Oh God, are you gonna get drafted, Arthur?
Drafted where?
No, to the war.
Which one?
No, the one that's happening. Are you gonna?
There are a lot of wars happening.
Yeah,
So I keep seeing tweets in Germany that you need to kind of like get permission by the state that you leave the country for more than 3 months and stuff. Well, I left a long time ago before that was a thing. So it's like,
what's going on with that? Do you understand why? Because I actually did read that. Not that I want to pivot into like serious geopolitical discourse, but like they're actually like being like, don't go too far. Things are kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think the TLDR is just that Germany wants to like reinstate like the draft, which disappeared luckily. Before my time, I want to say. And it's just gotten back to the days where maybe people get to practice again. I hope it doesn't get that way, but
don't practice on Poland. It's scary.
They're not gonna like that.
Let's get just stretching our legs. That's it. We're just stretching our legs.
If I was a world leader, I'd be fucking stretching too, bro. I'd be like, I'm not.
Japan's stretching. They're stretching. Yeah, they're like, let's check out these islands again. There was some interesting stuff going on.
This is not me. This is not my political take. I'm saying if I was a world leader, like I was leading a country, fuck yeah, bro. I'm getting ready to fucking go, dude. You kidding me? I ain't gonna be caught lacking. Like shit's getting crazy.
Just like in the movies, man. You're churning. You are attuned to. You've got fucking Kenny Loggins in the background. Dun, 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Yeah, sure. I think that's terrifying, but let's roll with it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do what we call a real pro gamer move here. I'm going to pivot away from geopolitics for a moment. I'm going to go back to Arthur. Tell us more about that smut. I want to know what you were reading. It's revealing. Oh my God. You don't want to do it. That's okay. King, you can hold that secret. That can be yours. You can hold it tight, let it be yours. Let it just exist inside of you. That's fine.
Can I ask you a question though?
Yes.
Was it gay or straight? Was it gay or straight love?
Personally, as a straight man, I only read as a third party. I never selected the content or the specific pages that were read.
This is a deposition. This is crazy.
Are you on trial right now? The fuck?
I was just participating by being at the random time at the random place.
So wait, you group gooned to smut and you just happened to be there present for the smut being read?
Whoa, hold on. No. It was just, hold on. Let me raise my table. I'm like slouching very badly. So,
just following orders.
I was just reading what was given me out to read.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just
following
like
orders.
It sounds like it was a dare. Like you got double dog dared to read something.
I think smut's great. I think that the world would heal should smut become the default mechanism for turning yourself on or whatever. I think that'd be a good thing because then people are reading again.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they're reading it.
I always tell people, listen, everyone loves to read. You just have to find what you like. And I think more people should try smut.
Well, because a lot of people like being horny. So it is like a huge overlap in terms of like, maybe you'll learn a couple new words and you'll read about the Minotaur billionaire.
Exactly.
Which can have its place, Julia, so you're a big fan. You're a smut girly. How did you,
book girly? You know what I mean? I like my smut with a little bit of plot. With a lot of plot.
Okay, yeah. So, like, can you ratio it for me? Like, what the ideal title would look like by way of like heat to meat? That's not right. Like heat
much we need a build up.
Okay,
it's like this is the thing. This is why smut is for the girlies, is because we have lost the art of foreplay. You know what I mean? I need a good foreplay. I need them to hate each other.
What the fuck is foreplay?
We didn't lose it. We didn't
might
lose
not
it.
have. Yeah, it might be in development.
Yeah, because I mean,
so I would like a 70-30 split.
Okay. So
70% smut, 30%. I'm just kidding.
Okay, yeah.
The other way.
Yeah. So it's a lot of you got so to you it's a good story with some spicy peaks.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's, but now here's the other thing. Is it not something that you could generally say, like, if more men were to consume it, they would maybe have a better idea of what people are like wanting or into? So maybe it's like good homework.
Mm-hmm. They could wear some wings and things. Cosplay is not just for women.
Okay. Wait, so what would be, what would be your ideal cosplay scenario then if you were to prescribe it, Julia? What would it be?
Yeah, Julia.
That's right.
Tell us.
Maybe some bat wings.
Okay, bat. We're building a bat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like kind of vampiric, maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
Mothman.
Batman?
Not Batman. No.
Not
just
Mothman. Okay. Well, what kind of a guy is it? Like a dark, misunderstood figure. They you know what I mean? What's going on with him?
Maybe like a nice guy with a receding hairline.
Okay, yeah.
And, maybe an accent, perchance. Maybe not from where I'm from.
Okay, yeah.
Good at following orders.
Yeah, maybe 6 foot-ish tall.
Okay, yeah.
They're always fucking 6. Oh, okay, dude. Wow, really? Fuck off.
Yeah.
Hey, they make platform shoes for men.
You know what? I actually agree. I think generally speaking, now hear me out on this, like, especially when it comes to hair, I say like, fuck it, like wear wigs, boys. Just wear wigs. Like to get a good hairpiece. Throw that shit on. You can, it's just a hat. No one gives a shit. Yeah. Lie. I don't care.
Toupees look good nowadays. I've seen the Instagrams.
Yeah.
Bro, they're insane. Every now and then I'll get some like Portuguese barber on my feed that's just turning a dude who looks like Ron Jeremy into like a stud. Give him like a nice shape up and everything.
If you can find me a fucking smut book where the guy is 5'10" and not fucking 6'2" or some shit, then I'll try to you know what? I'll try to help a woman come at some point in my life.
That's literally so easy, because when you think about basically every erotic manga, those dudes are not above 6 feet tall.
I do know.
I'm not talking manga. I'm talking about smut.
Do they state the height?
In like Japanese shit, they kind of like the guy being like a chud.
Wait, Bill, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I watch Japanese porn mostly, and the guys are always beat.
Can I argue that I don't think that has anything to do with the woman's preference at all, and that it's just like a bunch of
No, it's not preference. It's for the male.
Yeah. I don't really. Every time I've ever seen Japanese porn, I've made it like 30 seconds before I'm like, this feels like rape. Like nothing about this feels fun for anyone involved.
There's non-rapey ones, I should say. There are non-rapey ones.
I'm sure it's in the archives, but it's a real tough. It's a tough sell sometimes. Have you ever heard of Javdol, by the way? It's like like Wordle and everything. Yeah, there's one, but
it's
just for
bad though.
Oh,
it's bad because the likes they take it from Twitter, not like an actual Jav site.
Oh, so you're saying that it's not authentico? Like you're like this isn't reflective of Japanese sensibilities.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. You know what? I can get behind that criticism. I like it because the titles are really funny. It'll be like Cock Pinata Party 6, or like a really long-winded, like, my demonic mother came back from the dead to haunt my penis until I turned 21, at which point she would turn me into a regression monster, and now I'm a 15-year-old boy who needs to be spanked. Volume 6. And at one point I have to admire that there's clearly like whimsy to this, like there's so much curiosity.
No, I like Jav for the same reason that Julia likes smut. It's because they're always long.
Like, how long are we talking?
Like they're movies. There's like, it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours, 3 hours.
And you'll crush the whole thing? It's like
No. But you watch the setup, you see what relationship they have. Their side characters, you need to see like why they're fucking, and if they hate each other or if they like each other, and then usually throughout the movie they'll slowly like each other more and more.
Yeah.
So it's like a lot of friends to lovers themes is what I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep. Okay. I get, you know what? I guess I can see the the value of that. I just, every time I've ever like happened upon Japanese erotic media, it's kind of like, are we having fun? Is it fun? Like, I don't know. Even in the event that it is like consensual and not just rape, like, it doesn't seem fun. It's like, it feels very painful for everyone.
No, I do more digging. I get what you're saying.
I agree. I love that. You're like, I just don't think you've seen enough. I think you need to really explore the genre. Like, maybe get more into the source material, which I appreciate.
Most of them are always cry screaming.
Yeah.
I really don't fuck with that.
But like, the guy is also like really belabored in his movements. Like, it's kind of like it just feels like it's hurting him too. Like, he's like it's kind of twitchy. I don't know. I'm just.
Yeah, no, I agree. The movements sometimes are like, I'm done. This is not good movement.
Nothing feels rhythmic.
But there are good ones.
Yeah, but again, I've limited insight. Like, don't take this and make a whole narrative out of it. I'm just one guy. That's it. But I do think that now we have to question what happens when all of our favorite porn is displaced by AI. Is that going to happen, or are people always going to want a human connection in erotic shit?
I feel like they're not going to want to. I mean, I don't either. I just feel like looking at how the internet's changed in the past year or two with like AI becoming a thing that you can use to make erotic content, I'm like, they're using that shit to make like the most pedo bait level, barely legal looking women to do like the most insane shit ever. And I'm like, all right, well, and also you think about it, and porn addiction's fucking out of control these days. Out of fucking control. Like, fucking everyone has it. And I'm just like, we're cooked. We're cooked. Nobody knows what a real human woman is. Nobody wants to be with a real human woman. Everyone's jorking it to some shit that's not even real. They don't care about human. I mean, of course, some people care about human connection. I'm sure there's women consuming this shit too. But yeah, no, I think it's going to get lost. Like, I think that's why we're having this huge issue.
Well, I think that it has to do a lot with what Blau kind of referenced earlier. It's like a sort of ever escalating sense of supernormal stimuli, of like, even down to what isn't AI, but everything that preceded it. It's the reduction of one's value to measurable analytics, right? So like, if women have been told their whole life that their value is gated behind the appraisal of their beauty, and now it's become this kind of rat race to find ways to cosmetically or digitally augment the presentation of beauty based on narrow standards culturally. Now we have this race to an almost sort of like homogenized and uninspired sexual ideal that people are all the same, like kind of enslaved by. Like, I just think it's funny because I was really lucky that when I was pretty young, I was like, I probably jerk off too much. And I was like, I wonder what it'd be like if I stopped. So when I was 18, before I got to college, I tried to like not jerk off all summer. And then when I did decide I was cool to jerk off, I just started reading porn instead. And because of that, I've never really had like a type. And I feel really lucky because most people I know have a type, but it almost always correlates to their media diet. But because my media diet's pretty diverse and I'm like reading instead of watching, I've never really had like one look that, I mean, I like attractive people. That's really it. And I find it to be really odd the way that people will hyperfixate on like ethnic identity or like one body part, etc. Because I think that it's like legitimately the artifact of like consuming one specific thing, right?
Yeah.
But like a lot of men are kind of like tethered to it. And I think that I don't think it's a moral failure. I think that it is a systemic failure because we've created this sort of never-ending deluge of like media that you can't stop looking at. It's the only thing it cares about, and it does kind of like short circuit a lot of sensibilities when you're like, those are boobs, I'm looking at boobs, I am looking at boobs. I am seeing more boobs today than my entire lineage has. I am going to continue to look more at boobs. Yep. You've seen more tits than every single male, like your patrilineal bloodline has not seen as many tits as you probably have in your short adulthood. Like truly, that's crazy to me.
Fuck yeah. Wait.
How do you guys feel about that?
No, it's cooking you.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
It's bad.
I don't think I've seen porn since they banned it in Texas. I don't think I've really looked hard enough.
Your Twitter feed doesn't magically have tons of bots being like, hey, click, here's my fucking pussy, by the way, on your random tweet. And I'm like, ah.
No, my Twitter feed is like, you know, when there's like a plank of wood and they have to fit it into a corner. So it's like somebody drawing like the pencil lines to cut it and fit it into the, that's basically my Twitter feed.
Your Twitter feed is
but there's always bots underneath it being like, I could cut that wood even better. And then it's like their tits. And it's like, what the fuck, man? It's like, this has nothing to do with you.
Do I just see that? I deleted Twitter like a few months ago, and it was the best thing I've ever done.
Oh, well done. Well, I do think Twitter's a legitimately just botted shitfest now. I don't believe like if anything, dude, did you guys see the like kick release of being like, oh, we had like 6,000 clippers clip like fucking like 160,000 fucking clips of clavicular? It's like, yeah, you're literally astroturfing algorithmic relevance. It's
everything I know about him is against my will.
Well, yeah, but like it's a legitimate indictment on the state of like just like digital media as a whole. Like they have created really effective ways of manipulating algorithms because algorithms are now, you know, like gamifiable, you know, like they always have been. But people have kind of lost attachment to maybe like an ethics or kind of like an ethical or moral position because people now know the money involved. So it's just become this really strange sort of like Wild West in that regard where people are completely fucking
back because they're cutting people paychecks for engagement. So obviously hate gets the most engagement. So now it's just it's way past being saved.
Yeah,
Sounds like you got morality mogged. Sorry, Bucko.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, well, you know, that's life. You're just gonna continue to get morality mogged if you take an issue with it. Yeah, and everything has a fucking like some kind of dog shit like stake rain bet fucking watermark over it. Because again, it's like
God. Oh,
you can't.
So bad.
You know, 52% of dudes age like 18 to 45 have a sports book account now. Like that is a statistic that exists in the United States.
A sports book?
Yeah, sports book, like sports betting. So like think about like FanDuel or you know, fucking you know, DraftKings.
Bro, dude, I heard kids at the ice hockey rink, like some kids who were like, man, they couldn't have even been like maybe barely high school talking about their parlays, and I was like, oh, we're so fucked. Well, it was so bad. You
do have to also think that in the face of ever dwindling wages and this sense of like lack of fruit to be found in academic sort of pursuits, that some people are just like, fuck it, let's see if I can win big here. That's like the new job. It's like, okay, maybe I'll fucking be a sports betting mogul, but also it's just so dopaminergic. Like kids are now increasingly sexless but obsessed with sex appeal, right? This thing that like, okay, I have to be supremely beautiful and desired, not because I want to use it to have sex because sex is scary, but because I want to be higher on the ELO ladder of fuckability. They don't go out, they don't party, there's no drinking, there's no drugs. Everything is built on this performance of desirability and power in the absence of ever even really meaningfully indulging in like the pneuma, like the spirit of being human. It's really fucking sad. The new dopamine source is just online betting and like Instagram feedback. And I don't want to sound like a disgruntled boomer, but I do think that there's a legitimate kind of cultural discourse to be had about like maybe letting companies lobby, you know, like state and federal, like, you know, Congresses, Senates, etc. I mean, to purchase politicians at both the like local, state, and federal level, and then to go on to like determine what is or isn't acceptable based on that lobby is problematic when you now have a fucking sports book ad on like every product. Like, dude, try watching sports now. You can't. Every podcast, every YouTube channel, every fucking 3 minutes of ad breaks is just going to be like, the one-stop shop. Get $100 bonus bet if you sign up now. You know, and it's like, well, fuck. I guess that's what kids do now. I don't know.
I played Gaia Online and Neopets. It was pretty cool.
Bring it back.
Oh, I miss Neopets.
Yeah. You know, the worst...
I hate kids on social media. Sorry.
Oh, well, me too. It's just not safe for them. I mean, I feel like, we all were on social media.
It's not safe for them, and they're fucking annoying because they don't know. They're fucking stupid.
Wait, wait, break that down. Shit. What's stupid?
Because they're kids. They're just dumb. Like, they're unintelligent. They're underdeveloped. They have underdeveloped IQs. Like, they're just generally unintelligent.
Yes.
Like, they should not be on social media.
And so but like, now we have this kind of thing where social media is interesting because when I was growing up, it was like very local. Like, you only really interacted with or engaged with things that were near you. And like, it was kind of fun because there wasn't really like, you have to think now that kids are kind of having sold to them, not just identity by way of like aesthetics and like, let's say like performance, because you can literally go on and be like, oh, this aesthetic, this presentation of self is one that generates social currency for people, right? When they talk like this, when they post these images, when they dress this way, they get this amount of likes, etc. And so you've kind of outsourced the process of identifying what is good or meaningful to what is instead the arithmetic of like what is viral, right? So now people are just thinking, oh, this virality is being conflated with goodness or social value in a way that's super, like almost like, I don't know, devastating. Because I think that's how you generate things like like a clavicular or like a neon or anyone who's like going about their life with the sole intention of creating conflict or problems because they know that amounts to attention and social capital, right? Like, they can now like trade this to, have the sex they thought they wanted, to feel as though they're enough, or to have the house that people are going to think is impressive and in turn want to spend time or hang out with them. There's a totally underdeveloped sense of self at the core of all of this kind of obsession with virality and attention. But it's become standardized. And I don't actually know what the fucking solution is. I just know it's sad. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a lot of it's probably like parental intervention or like changing the way that we educate on the matter. I don't know. Maybe regulation.
I think we all need to upload our IDs.
Okay, yeah. That's a good way to get
one.
That can be tough. We can get sold on that. That can be tough, but my fear is that I think like, so there was that whole, did you see like Meta had there was a big I think it was like a California state trial in which Meta and like Instagram or Meta, it was like Facebook and Instagram were held liable for social media addiction in the case of like one
I think I did
plaintiff.
hear about that.
Yeah,
I think I did hear about that.
It's interesting insofar that like a lot of people, and it could very well, because now you have legal precedent, right? Legal precedent meaning that if this were to go to like a federal case, or if this were to ever be brought up again at like, a state or, district level, people can then reference this case and be like, okay, there are grounds for indictment here. Like, we can hold these companies accountable. However, how companies pivot is now scary, because what if it's like, now you have to upload your ID to even so much as engage with like your iPhone, right? Your iPhone will not unlock without it being directly tied to your identity. It's kind of an odd thing insofar that it all then makes all the data collected therein way more valuable. So it's almost like a profit play, and I don't fuck with it! I guess. I don't know. I don't even have a conversation to be had. I'm rambling about something that I'm frightened by. And do you guys have thoughts? I don't want to keep talking.
I mean, I said it kind of as a joke, but yeah, no, like, I disagree with it. I mean, we all saw what happened in the T app, and then I remember Discord was kind of like pushing towards having like verification and things like that, and that was chaotic.
I think the T app is a really funny thing, because I remember there being real panic about that. Like I'm going to be smeared. I don't know what the
T app is. What is that?
You don't know? So the T app essentially is an app for women by women, which is essentially shit talking dudes that they dated or went on dates with. And then they essentially give a green flag or a red flag, and they share their experiences. The only reason why I know is because my barber.
Fuck?
No, it was a big point of discourse.
Your dad?
No, my barber.
Baba.
It does sound like you're saying you're like Baba, like you're like your like that's like what white people would call their grandpa, you know?
Oh, like, your barber.
It's my Baba and my Nina.
I heard it's an app for women to like warn other women about abusive, dangerous men on. I mean, I'm sure
but
that
then they
other
just started
people
talking shit.
Oh.
Well, basically, you're kind of skipping some. Well, in order to use the T app, you have to upload your ID.
And there was a huge data leak.
And so obviously there was a group of men that got really pissed off about it. So they somehow got all of the information of all of the women because they had uploaded their ID, and they doxed them.
So can I ask the lady something? Because I think that this is a growing sentiment in a lot of the like uninitiated and sort of like socially underdeveloped people online. There's this pervading kind of belief that women are organizing spitefully. Oh, can you hear?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, yeah. Oh, did you hear what I was saying, or did it freeze too hard?
It like froze for me. And I think for Julia too, randomly.
Okay. So I was saying that I've noticed that it's become this kind of pervasive belief amongst a lot of the maybe like socially underdeveloped or isolated people online that women are like conspiring together to release, damning, indicting, or otherwise sort of like, I don't know if the right word is like, kind of insidious narratives about men, be them legitimate or otherwise, so as to hurt them. Is that something that you experience as a woman? Do you think that that's something that's happening disingenuously across? And because I always was under the impression personally that it was probably a matter of like, hey, I did have a weird experience and I would like for this to be known so that you don't fall victim to something that I felt as though I did. But I'm curious if it's something that you've ever noticed is like something that's illegitimate or problematic.
I'm confused.
There's this belief.
I get what you're saying.
I don't know about this belief. What is the
You're
belief?
talking about how so a lot of women in the world, either in person or online, will speak to each other about men they view as problematic or dangerous that should be avoided, right? And of course there's the concern of sometimes, just like with any gender, some people do lie. Of course, that is my stance on it. Some people will. But what I will say is it is good and normal to trust the fact that most women would for the most part not lie about that because first of all, cancel culture is not fucking real. Our fucking president is a rapist. So it does not matter if you as a man do X, Y, and Z horrible thing. You cannot be canceled. You cannot be ruined. You can pivot. You can do whatever the fuck. And the woman has to live with the fucking trauma and baggage of whatever you did to them, right? And so yes, like anything, of course, there are people who lie. There are people who lie. So
of course, yeah. There are mentally ill people everywhere doing things that are reflective of, Yeah,
and I'm sure
Sorry,
sorry.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, I was just going to say, I think there definitely are women who would take advantage of certain things. Like, for example, if a guy has a lot of money and power and she has something to gain, there's definitely there definitely have been a lot of cases where women use like the whole don't like believe the victim mentality to their advantage.
So I think that's like an interesting premise to me insofar that like there will probably always be, especially in like, let's say like industries that kind of self-select for personality disorder or self-importance, right? Individuals who are just like legitimately like sociopathic, narcissistic. They don't have a well-developed sort of center for empathy. And so they're willing to do problematic things. However, I do also question the extent to which, even if that were the case, the math of betrayal actually works out. You know what I mean? Because I feel as if we have sufficient case study now to show that women coming forward with allegations almost never works in their favor. It's really difficult to provide sufficient evidence in the court of law and, to indict on these charges, like even in the event that you like get a rape kit, you'd then have to prove that it was all legitimately unconsensual, not just like rough sex, etc. It's like, it's virtually impossible to truly indict on. And so a lot of men are aware of this and are willing to take things to court because they feel it to be exonerating. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah. The problem is that we do have a system where it's like, okay, to what extent is it to the benefit of the overall discourse to believe that women at the very least understand that they don't really stand to gain from coming forward, that oftentimes the ire of the internet will still meet them and they will be treated like shit, which is kind of what I see everywhere. But moreover, I guess my question is, do you think that a truly self-preserving, like cunning person would see it to be to their advantage to try to cancel someone? Or do you think that it's something that is
I don't think that's
about like assault
individual to women.
And even that they weren't, but they wanted to lie.
By case, like I just think that's really malicious individuals who would do that.
And it wouldn't benefit you at all because you're just going to get a bazillion people in your comments telling you you're a fucking liar. So it would, even if you for whatever reason thought I'm going to lie about being sexually assaulted by this person, you're still going to get a million people saying you're a fucking liar. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really benefit you at all to even lie about it. It's like, it sucks for the person who really did get assaulted and you're still going to get fucking a million. It's sort of like, why would you even lie in the first place? But also like,
it's like mutually assured destruction. It feels like on some vector, and not necessarily even because most of the time the male party ends up okay, but there is like legitimate discourse to be had about it. And it's something I find interesting because like, we see every time a creator gets canceled for some kind of misconduct, conduct, there is an onslaught of individuals who are certain of the illegitimacy of that woman's testimony, right? Because it's all he said, she said. So like, is it to the benefit of the sort of like space as a whole to believe that at the very least people know they don't benefit from false allegation? Or do we think that that's still something that's like prevalent enough to, I guess, like guide conversation when things like this come up? Is this too dense, guys? I'm kind of going in on something here.
No,
I think about it a lot.
Can I drop a take?
Yeah.
Yo, hot take. Bro, you can be a girl in the online space and not cheat on a guy and get more fucking harassment and more shit than a guy who fucking fills out a fucking baseball field roster, a fucking NBA roster of fucking girls that he cheated on with. The fuck?
Very common.
Like, you kidding me? Bro, dude, if a girl cheats on multiple guys, it doesn't matter why it doesn't matter the motives of those guys, what they say when they come out about it. It doesn't matter what the fuck those guys do. That girl is getting dragged through the sands of fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, guy does it, hey.
Well, yeah, W man.
Chin up, kid. Work on yourself, man.
Yeah, I also think, frankly, and maybe this is just my sort of like, based on what I believe to be important, I actually don't really care the extent to which you're a faithful partner, and that is never really going to be, to me, grounds for cancellation or condemnation. I'm actually just kind of like, what the fuck ever about it. I think that what I care more about is the extent to which individuals are navigating their encounters with people in a way that feels like, at its core, ethical, considered, and to everyone's benefit, right? Like anything that feels like super duplicitous is something that I'm not crazy about, but especially if it feels as if like the experience of other people isn't being meaningfully considered. Like cheating to me is something that happens, especially when you start to get into like a bunch of entertainers that are terminally insecure. Most of these people became famous hanging out in their rooms playing a dumb fucking video game. They had no developed sense of self-esteem, and then they suddenly had women DMing them that they thought that they were attractive, and they had no practice in metabolizing that attention, and it can be incredibly seductive, right? So I don't know. I guess like, do you guys think that that is grounds for like enormous social backlash, infidelity at all? Like, especially for a content creator when that's not a part of what they do?
I would say it's not really our fucking business unless it's the matter of a person in power, somebody who's a large content creator preying upon smaller content creators. I think there's the discussion of that, of like, hey, but that's unrelated to cheating. I think if somebody's preying on smaller creators or fans, that is a problem.
Yeah.
That is a clear difference in power. That's not okay. Cheating, I mean, I fucking hate cheaters, but that's not my fucking business. You know what I mean? That's not my fucking business.
I don't know if I can express my thoughts, but it's one of those things where I guess we're arguing about like morals, and then it kind of goes into play of, are you going to cancel somebody for other morals that you don't agree with? So it's like, I don't know if I can express the way that I'm feeling. Like, I feel like a lot of creators get canceled off of the basis of different morals. And now all of a sudden people are like, well, I don't care what happens in his personal life. That's, you know.
So for you, the idea is that like maybe the idea of what is like, there's no like objectively like, there's no objective kind of morality in these cases, in that some one, let's say like moral conviction can't necessarily be held up against another in a way that guarantees cancellation or scorn, right? That you can't be like, okay, this guy did this, therefore because I disagree with it, he's bad because this person wouldn't agree, etc.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are valid for not liking somebody because of because they cheated on their partner. If it doesn't go with their morals and they no longer like that creator and they no longer like that person, then
100%,
they have the right to feel how they feel about that person. I don't know if like, I mean, bringing up like, because obviously we're kind of hinting at this Sakuno situation. I don't think that he deserves death threats and being doxxed and his family being harassed and things like that. But like, I definitely, you know, I think he deserves a little bit of backlash. I do.
I think
especially
how you
when
learn
you're doing it
lessons
with other creators in the space and you're using your platform to kind of talk to other people. But I don't know. I mean, because we talk about gambling and things like that, and that goes against a lot of other people's moral compasses. So, like, what is any different than this?
But, no, I agree. I think that at the end of the day,
I don't know if I can correctly articulate.
No, you're doing a great job.
How I feel about it, and I think that like asking whether or not somebody should be canceled for it is such a it's not black and white.
I totally agree. I think that what you're touching on is actually like perfectly. It's a perfect summation of a lot of what I think, which is that the consumer, like, I'm not saying that something is criminal. I'm not saying that something is even like worthy of being objectively or universally scorned. I'm saying that these are problematic sort of gray space behaviors that an audience will decide for themselves how they feel about. So don't be shocked in the event that you do something that someone's like, oh, this kind of compromises the sort of like value proposition of your content or my understanding of your character. I don't really fuck with you, because we're really nothing outside of our identities as streamers, right? Like, none of us are really presenting some kind of like superlative one of a kind skill, you know? It really comes down to like, oh, I like hanging out with them. That's why. So if you do something that kind of compromises that identity of cool person that I like hanging out with, you can't really be shocked that a lot of people are like, I don't want to watch. You know, it's different from a guy who's like, I don't know, really good at a video game, because people will probably watch him because he's really good at the video game. It's just personality streamers have kind of different parameters that they fall into.
Dude, what I have, my main problem with that is that people hold different people to different standards. Like if you have like the neons and the claviculars, you're not going to be like, oh, he said he made a gay joke, you know? Yeah. You'd be like, oh, this guy's literally homophobic.
Well, yeah, and also bots don't stop watching.
Yeah. So. But then like each tier that you go down, like from like the neon side all the way down to like the Valkyrie side, everyone, they hold each of us to a different line. And like the shit that I've seen Valkyrie apologize for is fucking insane. Well, like people would not bat an eye if I did that shit. And then like they just hold everyone to different standards, and it's really annoying.
I think it has everything to do with, one, I think that women are pretty much universally scorned because there are a lot of disenfranchised men on the internet who feel vindictive about the fact that women have financial social privilege that they feel they deserve. I think that online kind of content creation as a whole feels incredibly nebulous and without sort of like merit. So they're like, why couldn't I do that? I also play League of Legends, etc. That's a lot of the ire. But also beyond that, I think that the degree to which you are scorned for potential wrongdoing has everything to do with the degree to which you platform your kind of like ethics and or code of like your set of beliefs, those kind of like core principles. Because in the event that you present yourself as an insufferable fucking attention starved adjutant, no one's gonna be like, how could you go fucking like punch a dude in the face at a Miami nightclub? You're such a nice guy. No, they don't care, because the value of the content is you're watching a piece of shit be a piece of shit. You know, which sucks when you have really great creators who, like, I don't know. I watched fucking Valkyrie have to apologize for saying for real, like on God, and it's like, oh, you mean like legitimate fucking like youth vernacular? It's like, yes, there's attachment or like it's
for that. I got trouble for that shit too.
No, it's insane.
You did?
Yeah, guys, real quick, I'm pulling in my friend Charlie. Just so we introduce Charlie. Charlie, how are you? Welcome in.
Hi.
We're in the midst of discourse. We'll catch you up on it. We're talking about the cancellation of creators, when it feels warranted or otherwise, the reality of cancellation, if it can even happen. You want to introduce yourself to the panel? You're welcome to.
Oh, cool. Okay, 1 second. Hello, I am Charlie. I stream. I know a lot about Lord of the Rings and not much else. Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
You are one of my favorite panels, Charlie. Welcome back. I'm very happy to have you.
What?
Yes, I know. Yeah.
I'm so honored.
No, I'm really stoked. You came in at a good time. So what was the last thing we talked about, guys? Where were we? Fill me in.
The unequal cancellation of people depending on if they're a woman or a guy, or also how big a streamer they are, and should people get canceled for things and blah 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 blah. I say cancel because I just don't think canceling's real.
Yeah, no,
I don't
isn't.
think it's real either. I'd agree with that. I feel like people don't. I feel like maybe at one point it was kind of, but then you could just grift right, I guess.
I think cancellation only happens in the event that you legitimately do stand beside your virtues or convictions, right? Like if you're unwilling to compromise it because you really do believe what you've platformed, assuming that it was some kind of moral uprightness, then like, yeah, where are you going to go? You're not going to like, those people are probably going to turn their back on you, but you can redeem yourself. I mean, we've seen it in the instance of like someone like Atrioc, who I think was like really scorned for what happened with him and like the whole like AI fiasco, but he seemed to make amends with the people in question and like do what he can to like address the issue systemically. I mean, I don't know. It's not up to me to forgive, but I have seen people survive. So
I think it's easy to. I feel like, I mean, God, based off of the things that I've seen people do, and they still have like a very prevalent audience. I feel like it's almost too easy to survive. I feel like there's almost no consequences.
Oh
like
yeah,
I think it's
mustache man.
I think it's just whether or not you. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, you go.
I think it's just whether or not you can personally handle like the backlash. Like I know a lot of people just can't handle that or don't have a thick enough skin to be able to go through kind of the waves. But if they do, then yeah, I agree. It's pretty hard.
I mean, if you also have no issue with attention for the sake of attention and are content with being known as a piece of shit, which many people are, because this is a literal, like moth to a flame is content creation to a narcissist, you know? Like the yearning for attention's sake is so great that there is no consequence for problematic behavior. You are still being talked about. You still have something to entertain your, fixation. But
I feel like that's why like shitty people often are really good streamers.
Yes.
Because they really don't give a fuck. They're willing to do whatever and they love all of the attention regardless. And it's almost like a miracle when like a decent person ends up becoming a very popular streamer. Or
and then we all hold our breath and wait.
Yeah.
Everyone's just, what's happening? But I really do think that like what you're pointing to is something we talked about earlier, where we have an issue where as individuals are raised on sort of like algorithmically determined values or convictions, the conflation of what is good or necessary or productive or meaningful in social contexts is completely conflated with what is viral, because you have data suggesting that virality is the triumph of the person, right? People like me, people talk about me, look at how much power I have, right? Which is a huge issue. But I don't know, it's just interesting because we get into I don't know if I believe that Twitter's real. Like sometimes I'll read some of the positions and beliefs that kind of spawn of it, and I'm just convinced that like dead internet theory becomes all the more sort of like, I don't know, tangible to me the more I descend into those depths. Like, especially in regards to like cancellation and the kind of defense that people will run for individuals that I think are like, okay, there's like definitely a trend of behavior that's being discussed here. Like at the very least, we should be having some legitimate skepticism regarding whether or not this is good. And moreover, what does it say about a system that like establishes what is or isn't acceptable behavior? Like that's also what I kind of think is being missed in this conversation, but I don't know, man.
I'm sorry, I have a like somewhat of a tangent that's kind of related.
Yo.
This was before I deleted Twitter. I have found that a lot of people who ask for, like what you said, where it's like if a creator doesn't have the same morals as I do or has morals that I deem to be irreprehensible, then I have the free will to choose not to support this creator, and I also have the free will to not like this creator. However, the main thing that I have found is that people who are asking for like sort of clarification or a deeper understanding of a certain creator's morals, they aren't their viewers. Like I say that with my own personal experience on Twitter. The people asking for me to make my stance or like speak up on a certain stance that I have on something, they're not my viewers. Because if they were my viewers, they would already know.
Sure. I think that that's also the reality of being on Twitter, right? Is that it is being, it's being sort of disseminated into a lot of different corners of the internet. And now people who may be vaguely aware of you, because like you're a very visible person, are going to be like, hold on, now my only understanding of you is this, what say you, you know? So they are like totally new people in that regard. Oh shit, Nut. Yo, what up, dog? Yo, do you know how to set up the, no, we can't. Do you know how to, there it is. Okay.
Wait.
Okay, you might want to go do the old virtual cam. You know how to do that on your OBS? I'm assuming you're trying to use your camera in two places right now.
Yeah. Do I click out of OBS?
No, so just hit.
On the virtual camera, there's like a Like
he's
right
just
here. Actually,
start streaming.
Now, if you go up to Mike, he'll set you straight. That's my producer.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull you up there real quick so you can figure that out with him.
Yeah,
Give me one second. All right, motherfucker, man. I'm so happy to have him out here. He's gonna be. Oh, he's right back down. Okay, hold on. Did we fix it that quickly? What happened? Okay.
Crazy.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, it's not looking. Okay.
It's
Uh-oh.
looking like box.
Okay.
I'm seeing a blue dot.
It's looking like box.
Yeah, it's looking like box.
Uh-oh. Okay, you're gonna go up to Mike again. All right. He's gonna tell you what to do.
Mike's gonna come back in 5
Mike's
seconds.
gonna fix it. He's just rubber banding
Get
it.
a snack.
Done.
Okay, hold on. I think that they'll fix it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's an interesting conversation, especially because like I don't know, man. These like cancellations expose things that like I guess maybe they're just conversations I find interesting, but like I'm really curious, and maybe it's just that I am like kind of like autistic, and I put an enormous premium on, let's say, like transparent communication, but I'm impressed at just how much pushback I got for suggesting that it is just universally productive to try to get like clear, enthusiastic consent before you do things with someone sexually. Like that's like typically it's not an obstacle to romantic momentum, and that relying on what you interpret as physical cues for consent is in a lot of ways potentially ill-conceived to the point of it maybe amounting to a lot of experiences that people don't necessarily want to be having, but also don't feel comfortable dismissing or disengaging from. I guess I'm curious, do you guys think it's like unsexy to do that? Is that something that is a problem? Is there such thing as like physical implicit consent? I'm, as a man, I would never trust it personally, but the internet seems to be disagreeing with me. So I'm curious to ask a panel.
I mean, in a long-term relationship,
yes,
there's kind of like an implied consent, unless your partner is like, I'm not in the mood or whatever. But
yeah,
I've always been I like to check, and I appreciate when other people check if things are okay. And so it's never interrupted my time. I think that's more like just like a deep cultural anxiety that I would say maybe like I would almost say potentially like porn inspired.
Sure.
Just because of this idea, like the desire to that being like people's like first introduction to intercourse is not like a hey, can I blank? It's like scripted. It's
yeah, it's like I'm gonna be choking you in about 3 minutes. It's like it's a very weird and like heightened kind of thing that, like, granted, I just feel as though also it doesn't necessarily establish expectation in a way that allows for people to feel safe and have fun, because now it's this constant math of like what is about to happen, what do they believe to be acceptable, and you kind of just get to nullify that. Like I was saying it more so in the context of like this improves everyone's experience of intimacy. It isn't something that you should perceive as being a chore. It's like, no, it's like being able to read through a menu before you go to a restaurant. You know what I mean? It's like you get to pick what you actually like and know that you're going to get the experience you want. But I think that men, in a lot of ways, are afraid that should they even so much as offer an out, that they're going to lose their opportunity to like nut or something. Hi, Nut, by the way. Good to see you. And I think it's like a really problematic blind spot culturally that like this whole discourse with like what happened with like Sykkuno and shit. Sorry, you're coming into a tense moment here. What I found more problematic wasn't the fact that like what happened felt like demonstrably predatory in a way that was unique and like worthy of scorn. I think that it is, but I think that it's very like secondary to the reality that what actually is happening is remarkably ordinary. It's a very commonplace experience for so many people I know who've felt comfortable enough to confide in me. And so when I talked about it, it was like, I don't think that this is something, I think that the larger problem here is how so many large content creators have galvanized their audience to feel generally suspicious or outright, frankly, like hostile towards this belief that someone can go through the motions of intimacy because they don't feel comfortable saying no. So in the event that you aren't presenting them with that option and asking them what they're comfortable with and what they enjoy, you can never truly be certain that they are willingly and enthusiastically engaging, only acquiescing. And that shouldn't feel good for anyone involved. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of at odds with it because I truly do think that like at the core of it all, seeking that kind of certainty is good for both parties who are engaging in it. And moreover, like, I don't know. I don't believe that individuals are acknowledging the extent to which saying no can be scary in the event that you aren't lucidly presenting it outside of the context of already escalating tension. Now,
I mean, yeah, because like I feel like adverse sexual experiences are extremely common for, I would say, like women and queer men in general. And so I think that a lot of maybe heterosexual dudes kind of underestimate like how women are trained from such a young age that saying no doesn't mean that things will stop, and that in fact they might get like a lot worse. And I don't even mean just in a necessarily like strictly intimate manner, but I'm thinking of like schoolyard bullying, like, you know, a little boy pulling on a girl's hair or like groping her, pushing her around. Like, did you guys have like the thing where it was like every like Wednesday, like you would get like your ass slapped like at school? Like that was just a thing that boys would do at my school, where they would just on Wednesdays, middle school, they would slap girls'
That
butts.
was like not a thing in middle school, but I remember in elementary school, like one time a little boy just like stuck his hand up my shirt and tweaked my nipple, which obviously super unacceptable. Then another time a little boy just took scissors and cut my hair.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I remember there was this boy in middle school that would like knee girls in the vagina. Like he thought it was funny to just like knee them in the vagina.
What the heck?
Yeah,
and that just becomes normal. And I think that like the boys will be boys. Well, I think that that's getting better. Like, you know, like what you were saying, RuneScape GF, is that...
You can just call me Rune.
Okay, Rune, I love that. Is that it's like women just kind of learn to accept that this is the norm. And people just accept that men are going to do shitty things and get away with it. And like what you were saying, sorry to go on a tangent, but
no, we like those.
It is literally better for everyone to know what people want to happen and what they like to happen. Like, I get anxious if I don't know what someone wants to do or what's up. And I don't understand why that wouldn't be appealing to literally everyone involved to just have like clear communication about like, hey, I like this or not this.
So
or
I
this
have
is
a
what
theory.
I
have a theory. I think that the reason why this premise is met with such hostility online is that there are a lot of men who really don't want to have to address the reality that they may have, unbeknownst to them, in a completely unmalicious capacity, assaulted someone. You know what I mean? That it is completely okay for you to acknowledge past behavior as potential transgression without it being damning, because you are a failure of, essentially anemic discourse, right? We do not talk enough about what it means to actually ensure someone's comfort. Like, you as a man are essentially constantly carrying a loaded gun, in that there is, in heterosexual dynamics, a lot of implicit power imbalances physically beyond anything else socially or professionally, right? That is in and of itself enough reason to think, well, if I upset this person, that can go bad. So you have to, one, acknowledge that there's never going to be true parity there, and it is your responsibility to ensure that they know that you're not going to abuse that imbalance, right? But moreover, to acknowledge that you, in your misconception of what intimacy should look like, having done something that might not have been, let's say, like systematically or procedurally perfect, is okay, because most people have. You know, most people learn by taking a lot of bold guesses at the behest of whatever your fucking friend's big brother said you had to do, or whatever you learned from porn or saw in a movie. And it's okay to have fumbled that, to make amends to that, and to be like, okay, maybe that is problematic, to just kind of guess that they're going to be okay with the next thing I do, and then take their lack of, visible or audible frustration about that thing as being sufficient, let's say, consent. You could just say that, like, okay, yeah, maybe I should revisit how I'm going about structuring my experiences with people to ensure that they feel good. But I think they're so worried about having to don the mantle of predator or of assailant that they just rebuke the premise that women could feel uncomfortable at all about these things. And I don't know, I think it's odd, because I, as a guy, and I'll make it about me for a sec, feel almost a responsibility to speak on it, because I think that there's an absence of communication or discourse from men in these spaces regarding what is like a mindful and generally safe context for intimacy, right? But I can't help but also feel like, okay, I am immediately going to have that position be invalidated on some levels. It's like, okay, I'm doing this so that I can like have more sex or something. I don't know. It's a weird thing that people like to compete, like immediately attack. So my question then is like, how do you go about telling people that it's okay to reformulate what it is you believe to be okay? Is it through women's testimony? Like, where does it go?
Can I, again, this is one of those topics where what I'm saying can be like misinterpreted in a lot of ways. So I will try to express my thoughts how they're coming. But I think that's like, I hate to say it, but I think that's also like putting the sole pressure on men. I think we need to, in a way, like also encourage women to also speak up. And while I do think it's very important for men to maybe bring up the consent conversation a little bit more, I would like to believe, or at least like situations that I've had in my adult life, that when you tell a man like, hey, I'm okay with this, but I don't want to have sex with you or things like that, I feel like just like clear communication on both sides should be expected. And I don't necessarily think that it should 100% fall on either party. And that I don't know. This is a really hard conversation. Again, I don't want my thoughts to be misinterpreted.
No, you're good.
But it's almost like this idea that, hey, may I hold your hand? May I kiss you? May I kiss you on the cheek? May I sit next to you? May I do this? May I do that? It's also one of those things where it's like, I feel like also stating your boundaries and teaching women that, hey, speaking up is also, on everybody's kind of responsibility. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily 100% agree that like everything is a man's, like solely on the man's shoulders.
I think so. I agree,
but I do think it does largely kind of lean that way. But in general, I think people just suck at communicating.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that part of me does question, like, in the event that women are in these contexts saying that they don't feel comfortable but continue to feel pressure exerted upon them by the person they've denied, that there's also precedent being set for a woman's kind of, let's say, like, discomfort, or let's say like a positioning of kind of, I don't know, like skepticism or uncertainty as being something that men are meant to fight through. And I think that kind of creates a context that makes it difficult. But moreover, I think that it's really important to, like, the way I was really trying to frame my position on it is that if men feel uncomfortable or insecure about the possibility of being framed in a way that is in a negative light, if they feel as though in their encounters with women, they are going to be wrongfully accused of having taken advantage of or harmed them, why wouldn't you, as that individual, take it upon yourself to ensure their comfort, right? That, like, it's a really easy way to assuage your concern or panic about women feeling uncomfortable without relying on them to be totally comfortable with a new person they're in private with. You know, that's really all I'd ever want to make clear about it, is like, it's not going to hurt the situation if you do it in a way that's at least somewhat socially intuitive, based on like, okay, it's clear we're probably going to have some kind of intimacy to be like, by the way, I don't know if you're comfortable with this, but like, tell me what you like. Like, I would like to move forward with X, Y, or Z, you know? I don't know. I just don't think it's ever really been a negative.
I think that, to be honest, I've talked about this a couple of times before, in the sense that I think a good way to make men get it is that I think, like, there are certainly, there are definitely women that will do sexually inappropriate things to men, and without asking, because they assume that men just want sex automatically.
100%, yes.
Or also, I mean, just like straight dudes will sexually harass each other like all the time. And I think that, bringing up those instances of discomfort can be a good way to educate and kind of validate maybe like those experiences of discomfort. And also what Julia was saying is that, like, I get what you're saying totally, Wake, but like, I do think that at some point, at some age, like, adult women do need to be like, okay, it's not cute if I just assume a partner knows exactly what I want. Like,
100%.
It's not unsexy for me to be like, hey, I want to do this and I don't want to do that. Like, that's like, again,
yes, 100%.
I think something that must become a cultural norm.
And I think
the problem can stem from like people just immediately assuming X, Y, and Z is okay and doing maybe even serious things before somebody even has a chance. Like one time I started dating this dude, he was my second boyfriend, and bro just slapped me right across the face when we were like intimate, maybe for the second time. And I straight up, I didn't even know what to say. Yeah. Also, I have like really bad TMJ. So this was like a whole, like I got hit in the face as a kid by my mom because she was going to. We have a great relationship now. Don't worry.
It's so good.
But like it was one of those things where I literally was like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean? I was like, I didn't even know what to say because I was like, "How is this grown fucking man just assuming?"
That you're down for that.
Yeah. And immediately I was like, whoa. Like, do not ever hit me in the face. But it was just the how the fuck did he
Why
get
would you assume that that's
just, I'm going to go rip right in.
That's like the default.
Yeah. Like, it was like, bro, smack anywhere else but my face if you're going to test the waters, but you should probably ask first.
Yeah.
That's not even like normal for the normie kink stuff. That's not even like the thing.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. But like, I agree with what everyone's saying that it's on both sides. I think I can obviously like women do get killed for rejecting men, but I think that's typically with men that they don't know or that are like stalkers. I mean, who knows? I mean, well, technically boyfriends and husbands kill their wives too.
Yeah.
That being said, yes, like I think learning to state your boundaries is an important experience, and I think verbally stating them is extremely important because I dated somebody for 10 years, and that was my only experience ever. For 10 years of my life, that was the only person I had been with. And in my late 20s, I had to learn how to date. And I learned very quickly that I was very shy, of course. So, like, I didn't want to explicitly be like, no, or this is what I like, or whatever. And I would just try to convey my boundaries with body language, showing disinterest, moving away, not reciprocating, doing all these things that were completely ignored every time, and taught me it doesn't matter how obvious I show I am not interested. Do not touch me. I'm not having a good time in the state, whatever. I have to literally state it out loud, no, or this, and that, And so, yeah, it is important for women to learn how to verbalize that, but again, is it always going to work? And I'm going to say no, it's not always going to work.
I think moreover, my prevailing conviction is that why are we waiting for anyone to say it as opposed to just trying to clarify ahead of time? Like, I think that both parties should be encouraged to be incredibly forthright with it, right? And that neither should be waiting to arrive at it, because that's the only way to ensure that you're going to have reliably and consistently consensual engagements with people, is if you
use safe words.
Yeah, I mean, those are also really good to establish.
Even if you're not doing kinky shit.
Yeah,
dude,
no,
like,
I do too.
You just use some fucking safe words, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know. I think that's like a really good, like, that's a pretty good solution, actually.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just ways of protecting.
Like, chill, and then one that's like, yo, stop. Fucking.
Yeah. And I'm gonna maybe, unless people have like really burning thoughts, I'm gonna pivot to something a little lighter, because we have Nut here, and I have not gotten to introduce or meaningfully engage with Nut yet, because you came in as we were like really we were the things were getting a little sticky. But guys, this is not
my bad.
Yeah, no, how dare you guys? How dare you? Where are you coming from?
Well,
Nut?
Here, what'd you say?
Where are you coming from? You're all spoofed. You look dapper.
Oh, thank you. Okay, wait. Here's the thing. I was just filming a video. So I was out. I had to film a video I work for a dating channel. But also, I think I forgot that you live in Austin, or not to dox.
I figured, by the way. Yeah, no, they know where I live.
Okay, you live in a different state than me. And I was like 8 p.m. Perfect.
Yeah, I figured that's what happened. I was not worried about it. I knew that
was
probably
my
was the
bad.
Case. Dude, you're fine. Don't even apologize. So Nut, I have a real big question for you. So for those of you guys who don't know, Nut does like a lot of hosting on Nectar. Do you guys know Nectar? They do a lot of like we had 100 18-year-old swipe right or left in person, and there's like
say it like that.
Well, yeah, okay.
That sounded bad.
They're not always 18.
No, they're in a range of they're Zoom.
They're older, to be clear. They're usually way older.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
How old are they typically?
Yeah. Usually, genuinely, like early 20s to it's like 22 to 28.
Okay, yeah. Then you cut it off. You're like, we're not having these 29-year-old. Get the fuck go start a family.
No hags.
My question to you is dating cook? Because I'll watch these like 100 strangers swipe on each other in person thing, and I'm like, how have we gone? I'll get mad. I'll start yelling, and every time you have to bring out a megaphone and he has to be like, guys, it's okay to swipe right. Every time you do those videos. What's your insight? Give us your expert insight on gamified dating for YouTube.
Yes. Also, wait, just real quick before I do that, I just moved into a new apartment like 3 days ago. I don't have like a box room, like a room with boxes, just to be clear.
I do.
I do.
And that's why you're a cool guy. That's why I like.
Oh no, there are boxes right there.
You hard right now, like I'm.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I got the lighting set up, the plan over here. Like, yo, fuck you, man, in your boxes.
No, I have the poorest one for sure. I did want to address that because I felt self-conscious. But also, back to your question. I don't know. I mean, it's hard because my experience, I try to think about it less. Like, obviously, I'm dealing with a very specific demographic in California specifically. And they're also, it's not like, it doesn't, I don't think it really speaks for like all 20 whatevers.
Yeah, they're influencers.
Because it's also people that want to be on camera dating. And also, like, I don't know. It's nuanced because also, like, when we start, it takes about 30 different matches before anyone connects. Like, but it's also like 9 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah,
time to day.
That's awful.
12 hours?
Yeah.
Why is it 9 a.m?
I'm not horny.
They're 12-hour shoots. They're long shoots.
That's a long ass shoot.
Damn.
Yes. So there's like other aspects of it that make it more difficult and like on camera for the actual experience. But I think you do when you're like, especially when you're in my position, when you're hosting and you're doing all these videos, you do at the very least kind of get a sense of recurring themes, specifically in conversations more than anything. Generally, the couple will sit down that matches. The guy never asks any questions. Kind of just sits there and he's like, okay, ask me questions. And then the girl asks a ton of questions and then she'll be like, what are you interested in? And he'll be like, I don't know, I like my family.
Yeah. That's a lot of, big family guy. Love my family. Really important.
And I like Family Guy too, but it's like, I watch other shows also, you know what I mean? So, like I could talk about other shows or I would ask her what shows she likes.
Yeah. No, it's like an interesting conundrum in that are you seeing that like people are just starved for actual hobbies that people don't know what to do? Yeah.
It's like people don't just, I feel like for me specifically, I just kind of like had interests that turned into hobbies.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not smart enough to start speaking about like whole groups or whatever really, but it seems like a lot of people don't really have like the interest to even like go try to figure out other than shows they like and stuff like that. Like I like my family and my friends and I like sports or TV shows.
Yeah,
and
dude.
That's usually pretty much it.
I like sports betting and Family Guy. Come on, get into it.
Hell yeah, that sounds cool. You sound sick, but
fucking right.
I mean, yeah, generally it's just little things like that. You start to notice quirks with a lot of like, it's mostly more than anything the men. The men more than anything are. Yeah, no,
it bleeds through.
It definitely bleeds through. Yes. Oh my God. They are less socially equipped. The girls seem to always very specifically have like a direction that they're headed in and like where they're trying to head towards, like career oriented or like in whatever they're studying. And the guys are kind of more so, which I relate to because I've been there too. Kind of just not really like you're in your early 20s. You're like, fuck, what do I do? It bleeds through a lot.
I like beer pong. Fucking shut.
And then a lot of couples that match, and then you find out that like someone didn't respond, and then it seems like more than anything, the not committing to like actually dating someone or seeing someone.
Yeah.
And I think that bleeds through to the fact that no one matches forever for a long time. And no one wants to commit to someone.
Well, I think people are also kind of like gradually constructing. I think it happens with a lot of men, like this sort of like composite of what they believe to be like all of the attributes they could ever want in someone, all of which are pretty ill considered or just kind of built on what they're immediately responding to. And the idea of having like a catalog of everyone that you could ever have sex with in like a 50-mile radius of you is like incredibly malignant to the human mind. I just don't think that we're meant to metabolize that many possibilities. It's just not like a normal thing. Like you typically would have a few people that you interacted with a lot, maybe some of their friends, and through that you would identify some point of compatibility or connection and pursue it, you know? And then eventually they would become roommates, right? And the roommate part's interesting because now I have to ask, Julia and Arthur, in your roommating, how I see that there are animals there. Have you noticed any of your animals leave you by way of loyalty for Arthur?
No.
But
they do like him.
Wait, Arthur's taken aback by that. Arthur, which animals have become yours?
All of them.
Whoa.
So
yeah, maybe when I leave the house.
No, it's one of those things where
talk your shit.
Sometimes I would notice, we sit next to each other, and then one of the cats is coming. Ellen, for example, she lays down on me, and Julia calls her a whore.
Oh, so we're shaming these cats.
Yep.
Hey, Adam only went upstairs because the cat bed is taken. So.
But by another cat. So like so like over time, because you aren't really giving all of the love you can to your menagerie, Arthur's going to gradually absorb one as his own.
Well, Arthur, Arthur's a little bit more laid back than me. So sometimes they like run to him whenever they get in trouble.
Oh, no.
How many animals are there?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait, whoa.
I have
This is awesome.
2 dogs, 3 cats, and a bird.
2 dogs, 3 cats, and a bird. I love it.
Thanks. It's my zoo.
God damn.
Does the bird have words? Oh, go ahead.
No, I do want to say I do feel like a Disney princess sometimes.
I bet.
Because you're slowly becoming their preferred person, right? And they'll gather around you.
Well, I like wake up in the morning. I like what's suffocating me. It's like one cat on my chest, one on my stomach, one on my legs. The bird is chirping the moment I start breathing.
That's true.
Nice.
Oh, wait, they wake you up?
Well, it's kind of like, it's really weird. I feel like animals, like they realize the moment you like start breathing differently, they're like, whoa, yo, what's up? Maybe not the cats, but the dogs and the bird, yeah.
Yeah, they get locked in. They're like, you're up and we're eating now. I don't care if it's 5. We're doing this. The day began. Let's get to fucking going.
Yeah.
Do you guys think I have a question. I like other people's animals, but I feel like a psychopath sometimes because I don't think I could ever take care of an animal. Like I could never have like a pet myself. Love it when other people have pets, but I feel like that's something that's been missing in me since I was a child. And I worry that that's like a sign of something deeply negative.
I think that's a good thing that you're aware of that. So many people get pets when they genuinely cannot take care of another living being.
And they'll get a dog, which is like hard mode.
Yeah.
Like,
I love the degradation of this discourse, by the way.
And for me, it's like a dog is for somebody who's so fucking in control of their life. Like they got that shit fucking set.
Why do people get like big dogs and they live in like an apartment in the city and they're
in LA?
Yeah.
Like what are you doing?
Unless you're like super duper athletic.
They're just lonely.
Just get a fucking hamster.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Or like a little dog. Get one of those dogs that's like a familiar, like not even
little
a
dog. Yeah, it just shakes.
Little chihuahua.
I'm not active, so I have little dogs because I'm not like out and about all the time.
I do love that the demands of work in the way, like the rate at which we're compensated has taken it from like the people are just, they're irresponsible in having children to us being like, I mean, who can have a cat these days? This is crazy. They're able to feed them.
Expensive.
Well, I do think that people romanticize having animals too, and sometimes like I keep Pepper's always by my side because she has to be or she goes crazy. But sometimes I feel bad because then people are like, "Oh, I want a bird," and I'm like, "Please, no, you don't.
You do not want a bird. You want nothing to do with it. You don't want no part of this shit, Dewey.
No,
you don't want no."
The camera. She actually is. Yeah.
Why is that the dynamic for everyone I've ever known that's owned a bird? Is like they love their bird, but they hate their bird, and they would never recommend having a bird.
They're human toddlers.
I love the shit out of her, but she's a lot of work, and I know,
Bro, Maya,
Did she say
I
things?
told Maya once that I wanted to get a cockatiel, and she was like, I think you should, which I don't know if she was reverse psychologying me, because I've never heard her say that, and I think that she was like,
that's crazy.
That'll stop them. I really do. That's my theory. She's never confirmed it, but I believe that to this day.
Yeah, I wanted a bird when I was in elementary school. My parents told me no. And you know what? I respect that they told me no, because I love birds, but it was for the best that I not have one, because I was a child. How the fuck am I going to care for a bird? That's like, a fish was much better for me, much more within my skill set. And my little beta fish lived 8.5 years. But that still doesn't mean I could have cared for a bird. So, yeah.
And also, birds are just, can be sometimes a lifetime commitment. So, like, there's so many times that birds outlive their owner. So,
wow.
Oh my God.
yeah.
I'm
They
sorry
just
to
live a
interrupt,
long time.
but I have to go.
No. All good. Yeah.
Is that
Feel free to
okay?
come and go. Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Bye.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much for
Bye,
that.
guys.
Have fun on
Bye,
Marvel
man.
Rivals. Godspeed.
Thanks for
You're a
hanging out.
loser.
Thank you.
Fucking thank God. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now we can breathe. My God. She was really hogging the airtime, man. Guys, make sure you follow Fiona. She's amazing. Shout out fan mods. Yeah, I think that the crazy thing about pet ownership in general is kind of bizarre, because like they are literal animals, and we're like, you're going to be a friend now. You forget all of it. You're going to, like, we took wolves and we were like, you're fucking your sibling until you want to hang out with me. And that's literally like, that's how they did it. Like, it's that weird. We're like,
They
this
can't
one's
even
pretty cool.
survive anymore on their own. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine like a pug in
Oh
the
my
wild?
God, no,
would
it
die.
spits in the face of whatever God there could be. Like, if anything, its existence is proof that it doesn't exist at all. There can be no God in a world where pugs exist in their current form. They wheeze. They need rhinoplasties. I have a friend with 2 pugs, and he was like, yeah, no, I got them the nose job. Like, it's like a Korean K-pop star.
yeah.
It made no sense to me.
You gotta like clean their rolls and shit and whatever. And yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, because they're just like heaving meatballs now. Nothing about it is just or moral. It's crazy that we've created that through
and we've bred them
incest.
to look more baby-like. To look like cutesy.
If smite that
So that
baby,
our-
if I ever have one, I'll tell you that. If that is what a baby looks like, I don't want it.
They made this
No,
fucked
it's
up dog.
More like rounder, softer features.
Yeah, like
bigger
the
eyes,
neoteny
eyes
of it.
they're facing. Yeah, like I think it was God, I read about this once, but like the wolves that ended up bonding with humans just for like the kind of mutual benefit of food and whatnot were the wolves that had like low fear, like smaller amygdalas or something along those lines, but also the ones that looked babyish, that looked cuter, that made us do the thing where we're like, ooh, like crazy, and that was what kind of
it's happening.
determined-
It's happening to raccoons right now. They're showing signs of
I
domestication.
saw that.
I'm gonna look.
Oh.
Yeah, they have like shorter snouts and like rounder eyes. Are the ones that are like, raccoons are trying to
And their
they're
little
trying to get in
hands.
with
Well, because
us.
like, what a
They're not all
survival
gross
strategy.
They're fucking cute, dude. I'm down.
Yeah,
like,
they
It's like, oh, you're eating my Cheerios.
yeah, honestly, bring them into the squad. Yeah, we got dogs, cats. Give me a raccoon.
Well,
I
when
would
humans
like that.
when humans are determining what lives and dies, it makes sense to appeal to sensibility in terms of, like, I mean, not that it's something that they're choosing to do, but like the ones that are being fed and sufficiently cared for probably are just cute, which is interesting, because I personally don't want any domestic creature with thumbs. That to me is too much. I don't want it. I
fair.
think
Especially if they're
raccoons
too
are very
big.
cute. Can't deal with it, But
Every time I think of that, I think of the lady that got her face ripped off by the chimpanzee.
Oh yeah, dude.
Sorry.
But you know what?
People try to keep like monkeys and apes as pets. Are
Why?
insane.
Just have a kid. Have a kid.
Just, like,
It will literally act like an orangutan in 3 years. Like, have a child. It'll break everything in your house like you want. You don't need to fucking go illegally import a monkey from South America or something. It's tragic to me. And you know what? Moreover, and I think that this is kind of a weird thing. By the way, sometimes I forget what I'm going to say mid-sentence, and then I start doing like, and by the way, this is something I'm thinking about, because I did have a thing, but now it's completely lost. So does someone else want to
That's
talk?
okay.
I fucked that up.
Oh.
Go. Okay, wait. So we were talking about monkeys. Okay, I can piece this together. Let me do this.
Michael Jackson had a monkey.
Okay, no. I was going back to raccoons. There's a dude on YouTube. It's one of my favorite YouTube videos to ever exist. Have you ever seen this? It's like feeding my raccoons, and it's this like old Midwestern dude who has like a literal trough of hot dogs. He brings out a trough of hot dogs and like a Costco bag of cookies and feeds, I shit you not, somewhere in the ballpark of like 30 to 60 raccoons, and they're huge. They're so fucking fat.
My parents used to live in Florida, and in the backyard, a whole bunch, like a colony of raccoons would come every single night, and also this family of deer, like literally every single day, 4 years. And my mom, after a certain number of years there, thought, let me try to pet the raccoons because they come by every single day. And what does it do? It obviously fucking bites her, right? And she has to go ER, get stitches, get the shots, blah, blah, blah. What does this woman do again less than a month later? She tries to domesticate the raccoon again, and it does bite her.
Oh my God.
But going back to what you're saying, my parents weren't feeding them hot dogs, but they were feeding them oats and Cheerios, and they fucked with it heavily.
That makes a lot more sense than hot dogs, I feel like. Why the hot dogs?
I think it's just Midwestern man logic. I think he gave them his favorite foods. I just think that's all that, like, I think he's just like, I like him. He's an old grade man, you know? He's portly and he's having fun. His wife's filming him. He's having the time of his life, you know? Like, now granted, is it potentially problematic? Of course. Would Maya have something to say? Sure, but I'm not going to tattle. That he's having fun.
Wait, I had a thought about dating that you were talking about earlier.
Go.
I think it's a lot easier to date when you're a loser with loser interests because you have the automatic connection of being like, yeah, I like this anime. I like to LARP or cosplay or play this video game. And it's just like, you're instantly in. I feel like people without dork interests suck at dating. I think they're just trapped.
Well, I think that a lot of that has to do with having I don't want to say like courage, but let's say like, even if it's just, let's say like the circumstantial permission to explore what would otherwise be a niche identity, because there are so many people caught in like, I don't know, just kind of like the general like momentum of social pressure and tendency that they're like, I never want to stand out. And so they kind of just capitulate to whatever's most normal to the point of not really developing anything distinct about them. I think that, in a lot of ways, anyone with a niche interest is significantly ahead of the curve of someone who's, let's say, like, I don't know, sufficiently good looking, but altogether very plain. Because a lot of times that maybe it gets you into a first date, but most people are going to be like, I don't know, it'd be cool if you had something to say at all. And I think it's actually tragic.
Yeah, and I don't understand, how do people like that entertain themselves? Like, I guess, like where does I don't know, that kind of lifestyle stresses me out.
Why? Does it feel like it's vacant? Like there's nothing centering it?
Well, what do you, because I feel like the most important thing to me in my life is to have time for my stupid little hobbies.
Yeah.
And so when people don't have their stupid little hobbies, I'm like, well, what's the point?
I think that there are no shortage of people who have similarly, like, I don't know, just kind of like static and universally accepted hobbies or interests. Like, I like to watch sports and I like to play, like the newest Call of Duty, and I am going to watch Love Island US or something, which I think is actually really cool. But, neither here nor there. I think that people just have generally accessible and universally shared hobbies that they just kind of are like, hey, do you want to talk about this thing with anyone at their work? And they get along. I don't necessarily tier it. I don't think that it's better or worse. I do think that it's harder to find compatibility when everything feels vaguely, but let's say like insufficiently compatible, right? It's like, okay, yeah, this works, but do I feel like this is unique unto itself, or am I just making a choice of convenience,
A lot of it is jobs too, I think. If you work 9 to 5 and then you get home and you have to make food and maybe you have a pet or something, there isn't really a lot of time to actually have like a real hobby that you explore.
I also think that,
and also we don't have third places anymore.
True.
That's part of it too. There's nowhere to just hang out and meet people outside of a bar, but no one's trying to date at a bar really.
I will say that I think that like, that's kind of not to like buzzword it or TikTokify it, but I think that there's a neurotypicality you're touching into that is maybe just inaccessible to those who don't necessarily occupy it, right? Like the idea of having a good time going about incredibly overstimulating daytime activities on a weekend to me is like hell. Like I wouldn't want nothing to do with that. That sounds like a complete theft of all of my autonomy and personal interest, right? To go to like a brunch, into like a day drinking scenario, into like a sports game, and then like to the thought of it overwhelms me, right? And so like I just acknowledge that to be the case, but some people, like, that's their entire emotional and social center. Like they love that rhythm of life, and it's not like a better or worse thing. I think it's just like, I'm weird, so that sounds weird, but it's actually like remarkably ordinary and fulfilling to most people who engage with it, you know? Like a lot of people I know who fall into that camp are like pretty happy with life. Maybe every now and then they're like, I don't know if I like my job that much, but it pays the bills. But they love their family, they love their friend group, and they feel generally pretty decent from what I can tell. I don't know if that's the case generally, but do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah,
is this something that you guys have observed?
My brother is like, he just like surfs and does his job and watches sports, and he's happier than anyone else in my family, so there's got to be something to it.
Yeah,
I have a solution.
Go.
You just gotta get offline. That's pretty much it. Sorry,
or you need to get into normie algorithms, you know, where you're just getting cat videos and nothing else, you know, like
not to like kill our own like viewership and business model.
No, please.
No, like if I was
not
to actually,
wrong though.
Oh, if I was to give advice like to viewers or like Twitch viewers, I'd be like, oh, stop watching me. Like, just go fucking go outside. Like,
when I lose a viewer, I think it's good. I love when someone comes back after like a year and is like, by the way, don't watch Twitch anymore. Got a girlfriend, love my new job, don't have time. Like, awesome. You graduated from the academy. You know what I mean? Like, that's great.
No, I got one of those things that bricks my phone, so I can't even go on a bunch of the social media apps for like most hours of the day. It's great.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's important to not be online all the time, because I just feel like we've touched upon a million topics about why the internet skews a variety of things in our brain. But it's like, I literally, my brother is 3 years older than me, and he's having a terrible time dating. He had a terrible time dating in DC. He's having a terrible time dating in Colorado. And I keep telling him, well, it's because you're on apps. You're on apps, dude, and also you're chronically online. So not only are you yourself searching for this perfect woman who's going to be the perfect wife and the perfect mother of your children and the best partner for you and has all these interests, but also you're only looking on apps where it's like a candy store where everyone's going to be super fucking non-committal because they're going to be comparing even fucking the tiniest of things to somebody else because they're going to have a slew of people to look at. They could be like, I don't like the way your one front tooth is. They could literally make that, you know what I mean? And it's like, my boyfriend, who I love, he's the love of my life. I did not meet him on an app, and we would have never met on an app because I would have had all these different parameters. I would have been like, oh, well, this doesn't meet that, right? Because the internet just makes us hypercritical of fucking everything on the face of the earth. And I think if people just went outside, they'd be happier. They'd make friends. They'd get some fucking sunlight. Maybe they'd meet the love of their life. They wouldn't be fucking inundated with depression. They're like depressing news and fucking titties. Well, yes. In like a not fun way.
And even moreover, I think that the reality is that they will be building a life that thrives and fulfills independent of partnership, thus making it a greater beacon for that possibility. Like the more fulfilled you are and the more embodied you are in your interests, the more likely someone's to like be like, oh, I would love to ask this person about that. They seem interested in something that I can learn from. And that's how you start a conversation. Like, I don't know. I think ultimately, and this is maybe like an incredibly like rigid or even like somewhat reductive perspective, but I legitimately think that there is a cancer of like media diet misguiding men into believing that only this narrow, hyper homogenized concept of what beauty is relevant or meaningful to them in their preference. And I think that there are so many men out there who claim to have no opportunity, and it's because they don't have opportunity in the context of the incredibly vapid and compressed concept of what beauty should look like in the social media context. Like, if you kind of like depornography your brain and you're not like constantly seeking out supernormal stimuli and like following a bunch of like in totally inauthentic presentations of the human form by way of like thirst traps, etc., you might find that there are a lot of like really cool and like totally attractive people that might just fall outside of what you've been told attractiveness should look like. You know what I mean? Like there are really cool people out there that you probably have an enormous amount of shit in common with that you're never going to consider because they don't look like the women you follow online. And I do think it sucks. Like, like, I think it sucks for everyone involved. And I can say that it could happen in the opposite direction, but I have more insight into the male perspective on this. Women generally, when I talk to them, are like, he looks like Big Bird, and then that's why they think they're hot, and I don't know how to like rectify that, but you know.
Wait, they say you look like Big Bird?
No, I just mean like if I ask them why they're into someone, you know.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't think that.
I got a beak,
Yeah, I was
you
like,
know.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
A lot of it too is.
Oh, go ahead.
There you go.
No, you. I've been yapping.
Okay, no, but me as well. Okay, I was just gonna say, a lot of things are like things that you could be attracted to that you would not be able to identify in a photo, like like someone's laugh, or maybe they look into your eyes a certain way or something like that. Those are the type of
the
things
je ne sais
that,
quoi
like,
of
an
attraction.
app can never translate.
Yes, 150%. No, you're dead on. Like, you miss the experience of being near and around and like communicating with someone. All you have is like an image that you use as like a proxy for your imagination, and then like whatever words they type. And some people might just not be that fucking available to type over the phone. You know what I mean? Like, it's not to say that I think that there's, let's say, this like easy fix to a problem that's clearly greater than we would give credit to, but like, I do think that we have an issue where people are unwilling to consider the possibility of like maybe what you consume is framing what you're attracted to in a way that's harming you, you know?
That drives me crazy when people like believe that their like preferences are
innate, that it's just in them. Like it's like in their, no, you like Asian women so much because all you watch is K-pop music videos and anime. You have fetishized the culture.
That's it.
Every time. I love to, sometimes if I ever see a shitlord comment on Twitter, I'll go and I'll check their follow list and I'll just be like, these are all Asian Twitch streamers and K-pop stars and that's it. And then like, like fucking like Jav actresses. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean like, yes, this is your media diet creating a preference. You did not have it innately. And there's a reason why the fucking surging of like popularity of East Asian cultural exports in K-pop and anime have led to a shift in that attitude. I remember being kind of unpopular to find Asian people attractive generally amongst white individuals back in like the 2000s. Now it's very much something that is like, I would say like
especially
almost kind of like
Asian men.
Yes, Asian men 100%.
For women, because white dudes have
Yeah.
White dudes have been fucking doing their thing with Asian women for a very long time. I would say that's not a new concept.
No, it's not new, but it's become increasingly more prevalent. Like in my experience of talking to over the course of my life, adult men, I've noticed a huge shift in having just a benign preference in Asian women. That doesn't necessarily mean it didn't always exist. Asian men have, I mean, and honestly, kind of like I'm happy for Asian men because they were really like dogged on for a long time. So part of me is like, okay, maybe this is okay. Maybe that's healthy and productive for you. I don't know. You get to decide. I mean, that. I'm not going to be the one who does it.
I mean, I feel like in terms of the women I see dating a lot of Asian men, I would say a lot of them are sort of the female equivalent of these dudes where they only follow K-pop stars. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, you've only ever dated Asian dudes and you're obsessed with going to these K-pop things. And these are like your husbands.
We know you're a streamer in LA. Don't worry. You don't have to hide.
You know, and I'm like, I don't think that's good either. You know, I mean, but obviously there's good example. It's also, there's obviously like Asian men are put under like different expectations by the family, so I think there's less leniency when it comes to like marrying outside, you know. But anyways, it can kind of go both ways, I will say, because I
agree completely. But for 3 years, my partner was non-binary but Japanese, and as someone who is a fan of anime, do you know how often I had to dodge the weeb yellow fever allegations constantly?
I mean it. I think one of my greatest fears, one of my greatest fears is falling in love with a Japanese woman because I'll never be able to live down my rhetoric about this. Like it will haunt me until the end of time. I've been so critical of the male attitude towards East Asian women and how blatantly fetishistic it is that it will eviscerate me. And my credibility is gone.
Yeah.
I like Asians and Latinas.
Okay.
Of course. That is how it goes.
That's so.
What
can
a
I say also?
surprise.
Can I also say something?
Yeah.
You said your partner was non-binary but Japanese. For some reason, in my head, I interpreted that as they identified as Japanese, and I was like, "You can do that? What do you mean?" It took like 5 seconds.
Go crazy.
They did, but they also were. So.
But okay, my fault.
That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, what would you choose to identify as? Not
me?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I gotta start thinking about myself more.
I'm
Latino.
You're Latino? Are you actually?
Yes, sir.
Oh, hell yeah.
And also, Blau, when you said I like Latinas, that I said in my head, thank you. Even though I'm not a girl, but
you're not an I, you're an O.
Well, also,
Gendered
okay,
language.
can I just say that like my preference was when I was growing up in Colorado, I liked white girls, and then when I was in Chicago, when I was in Chicago, I kind of liked it. I was like Mr. Worldwide. I liked everyone, and now it's like I'm in LA.
Bro's a slut.
And now I'm like
I loved
like, but like
men from Miami.
I like Latinas and Asian girls. But it's not. I'm not like yes, I like the Eastern culture.
No.
You
I
know,
don't think you're wrong. Like, I think that so much of preference is just built on what it is you're exposed to. It like everything that you are is an amalgam of all of your influences and experiences. If you grow up in Southern California in an industry with a large contingency of East Asian women and in an area that has a large contingency of like Latin or Hispanic women, that probably is going to influence what you find attractive over time. That's totally fine. I just hate when people are like, dude, no, it's like it's not a thing. It's not a thing. Like I don't. It's like it is a little bit of a thing, and that's fine. You just have to assess it.
Yeah, I'm definitely. Yeah, I know it's definitely a thing. I definitely like Latinas and Asian girls, 100%. 100%.
Exactly, but to me, okay, and I've spoken about this with my male friends, and I think it's just a thing I will never understand because I have liked people of. They were all different ethnicities, and I never took into consideration their ethnicity when being attracted to them. That was like not and also they're this, and so I like that. You know what I mean? And I have male friends, and I maybe dog them on a little, but I ask them about it because I'm like, I noticed there's a pattern here, and they're like, yeah, well, I just like Latinas. That's a very common thing I hear, and I'm like, so you're seeking out certain ethnicities, you're seeking out people not for who they are. You know, in terms of as a person, but because of things you associate with their race, which I find to be weird and fetishistic and icky and bad, but we've normalized it.
Well,
in my opinion.
I think that.
Wait, whoa, pause.
No, I'm not saying you're icky and bad. Don't worry, I love you, dude. I'm not.
I think you might also mix it up. Like it's like you like someone initially because of physical attraction. Okay. We're all on that page.
Yeah.
Like, typically, most people, it's like,
yeah.
So if you're physically attracted to someone, that's just the fucking starting point, isn't it? Kind of.
Yeah.
But you're saying you have a preference for a group of people based off of their appearance, which to me is confusing because.
Yeah, we all do. I mean, some people like taller people. Some people like more fit people.
What'd you say?
All have fucking obvious preferences.
I kind of want to disagree on the visuals. It's just like you have to just like check all the marks of like, okay, this is all good, but by the end of the day, it's like if the character is good, that's what, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why you should be dating somebody.
I feel like okay, can I?
I mean, well,
go ahead.
Sorry, I just feel like
apologize.
when it comes to like a lot of what somebody is also their culture, right? And so while I don't agree with fetishizing a certain group of people, I also think that some people might prefer certain cultures in terms of morals or what they want in family life or in different ways.
I completely agree with that, but I've never heard men bring that up.
I would also, but also I would never, as someone who like, let's say like, I mean, I've dated like, there's no continuity in terms of like type by way of like ethnic background, etc. Like I would never identify their culture as being the thing that I like rather than what that culture has spawned in them. Like it's okay to be that, but it's like, oh, you know, I just love like Japanese women. It's like, okay, but like maybe if you were to say like, you know, something that you is an artifact of cultural imperative, right? To identify whatever that may be in this instance is infinitely more interesting and meaningful to me than you being like, gotta find those Japanese women because even if it's because of those reasons, it's just a poor way of framing it. You know, it's like, don't shoot yourself in the foot, right? Like, I guess that's just more my position, but like, also like, I can tell you that like women of like varying cultures can probably smell when that's the thing that you're principally interested in. And like the shtick won't last long. You probably won't get very far.
I mean, I've even been like in the past, I've been on dates with people a couple of times. Specifically, the two biggest examples would be an Indian girl I went on a date with and a Peruvian man I went on a date with, who both told me that they're only attracted to white people.
Yeah, I think it's weird.
And I was instantly like,
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like oppressed. But I was like,
yeah,
I didn't like
it's
it.
not gonna make
like,
me feel special.
Why? Yeah, I didn't feel like I was like, you guys would probably date like an ugly white person.
You know what?
And you're
Even
not
more than
seeing
that,
I'm a beautiful white person, so that pisses me off.
Yes, queen.
Valid.
I think more than anything, what I feel weird about is that that is the extent to which you have assessed your preference. Therefore, I don't think I would find you compelling. Like, I don't think that someone who ends at that level of like self-reflection is someone I would be attracted to in any kind of meaningful way, right? At least for a long enough time.
Someone that hasn't like, I feel like it is important to kind of, at some point in your life, to maybe unpack why you might find people of your own ethnicity super unattractive and how that might be impacting your self-esteem.
Yeah.
And that also made me uncomfortable because I don't want to be like a reflection. I don't want to like be like an extension of your kind of like
self-loathing.
I guess unconscious self-loathing. And yeah.
I once got in trouble for saying that I thought incest was cool, and so I try to dodge that shit by going for like the Asians. And Latinas,
you don't look anything like me.
Then I'll never.
You
like,
had a beard. You had an incest beard, essentially.
Wait, but what was the context?
Oh, this is good. You do have a lot of people who don't know
the
here.
classic story.
Wait, why did you say that incest was okay?
Well, I didn't say it was okay.
He said it was good. That's
what you just said.
Oh.
Well, I kind of got clipped out of context. It's a complicated thing, It's like, okay, so if you have two gay brothers and they're separated at birth, okay, let's separated at birth. There's no power dynamic growing up. There's no way that they can have children. They're gay. Later on in life, they meet up and they learn that they're brothers, but they're like, damn, I'm really attracted to you. And they're like, damn, I'm really attracted to you. And they're consenting adults. You have to tell me why that's wrong.
Unironically, I think that's probably okay. Like weird, but no one's getting hurt.
No, well, like it falls neatly under the camp.
Weird, but no one's getting hurt.
To be clear, the whole point of it is it was from a class unrelated to incest. It's class on the neuroscience of morality and a bunch of stuff about how social species develops. Whatever. But that's like an example that they use to like make you think about some of those things.
Yeah.
And I was talking about gay incest.
Well, here's the thing. I think that it falls.
Right. No one ever thinks about the gay incest, right?
I think it falls pretty neatly. I think it falls neatly under the camp of behaviors that are so weird that you will be condemned for it regardless of legality. In that, there's precedent for people avoiding incest, like culturally, even before
pause. Don't say that.
Well, no, I'm not saying universally.
No. You can't. No. Pause. Things that are so weird that you'll be condemned for it regardless of legality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can tell you some other points in human history where we condemned certain things regardless of legality.
Of course. I'm not saying that it's about moral objective. Like there's no objective truth to whether or not it's that it shifts with what we expect or frame as being normal or permissible behavior with no tether to what I would personally view as being permissible or not. It's just to say that that's the social reaction to the behavior, right? I do think, however, that there's cultural precedent for people being generally averse to any kind of familial intimacy, regardless of even the scientific understanding of the consequence of incest itself, right? Should someone be born of it? Like,
I think it does like.
Can we dumb this down a little bit?
Oh, okay. I'm not smart. I just use dumb words. What I'm saying is that it didn't require us to understand that like incest would make for a potentially let's say that. We didn't have to learn that incest was a sort of detriment to the offspring before we kind of understood it to not be something that was acceptable, and that it blurred important lines and distinctions that allowed for I would say probably safe internal gatekeeping and self-policing in survival. That would be against the objective.
Say is that it's literally again, it would dissolve the safety that comes from the family unit,
Yeah.
It would also,
but we actually did that shit for a long time though.
Well, yeah.
The wealthy, the nobility certainly did, but that was because of like usually like a sense
flawed
of
understanding of genetics too, and this belief.
Yeah, also was that like you need to keep power within the family, but also kind of like these people are divine and better than us, and then they're like
that wasn't just nobility, guys. Like, come on, there's been there's.
I mean, in like very small
across the human
very small groups of people,
like,
yes, but like generally like large. By the way,
I'm not arguing it's okay.
Certainly not as much, I would say.
Yeah, you seem very passionate about this now.
Guys, Ludwig is born of cousins or some shit.
And we all kind of knew it. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the vibe he gives off.
And like no one was surprised. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't understand the nobility aspect of it. Like, I know that the royals, like a long time ago, were almost entirely incestuous, and it's like, how do you maintain? Like, how do you convince all of the other people that like we're actually still better than you?
Oh, I mean, well,
once you get to the point where it's like everyone's kind of fucked up, respectfully.
I mean, propaganda is easy. It's to be like we are genetically. Maybe they wouldn't use the word genetically, but we are superior to you. Like the gods have chosen us. That's why we have all of these things, and you do not. Like that
was the Protestant work ethic in a nutshell. It's kind of the cultural spine of the United States, is this belief that in your diligence and in turn the prosperity you found in it, you demonstrated your godliness. So I work super hard and have all this money because God likes me more. And that is why all of the things that seem so to the detriment of most Americans thrive, is that we built a country founded on that principle, which is an interesting kind of anthropological rabbit hole. But like beyond that, I also think that like, you know, like we were also at a time where people were like, you know, like, yeah, Rob ate pig and that's why it won't stop raining. You know what I mean? It's like, it's very easy to be like, oh, he's got all this money because God likes him more. And people have been like, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, the priest said that was the case. So who the fuck are we to say otherwise?
To be clear, I'm not pro incest.
Are you anti or just neutral?
I mean, these are genuinely like
I'm strongly anti. I'll even go so far as say I'm anti-incest. You know what? That's why I don't like. I'm sorry to the white girls in chat. That's why I don't like white girls. That's why.
Yep.
I want to dodge it so hard.
That's incest.
Why.
I mean, I
don't want any genetic similarities.
I get uncomfortable like when people look too much related to me.
Well, yeah.
I don't like it. Like if they look like if their nose is similar to mine, I won't date someone. Like I won't even be attracted to them. I'm like, you look like you could be my dad or my sister or my brother. Like, yeah, get a new nose,
if anyone resembles anyone in my family, I do find it to be very off-putting. Like if I see any likeness or common attributes, I typically avoid it. But like, you know.
Yeah.
It helps that I have like 3 family members. You know, there's not a lot to dodge. Tough.
You got a lot of aunts and uncles?
Oh no, I have none. I've got an aunt and an uncle. That's it.
Damn.
Yeah. And none of them were fucking. I have 0 cousins.
Like looking somewhat similar, isn't that kind of like a thing that's normal that people are attracted to one another, where they have like somewhat similar features? Do you guys know that saying where it's like
I know what you're talking about. A lot of people are attracted
to like features that they have.
I think it's I think that it's more of what is familiar and what is framed to you as being something that like you perceive attractiveness through, right? Like I kind of believe that social media and the kind of like age of digital media as a whole has kind of blown that apart, and I'm interested to see how like let's say attitudes towards attraction shift accordingly, because like I do think that when you're raised in an area where people look a lot like you, yeah, you're probably going to share that conviction. Because like that's
me and Arthur are actually cousins.
That's right.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's normal for roommates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're second cousins. I do have to clarify.
Yeah, Blau got excited, so it's good that you stepped in.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, that's so fucking cool.
I think that it's kind of important to understand why we are morally opposed to certain things, though.
Yes.
Rather than just
100%.
relying upon our impulse. So I like discussing these things because, again, oftentimes our gut reactions can be wrong.
Yeah, well, I think it's so easy to like internalize something as obvious because that is how it has always been framed, right? And that it takes you having to acknowledge what conditioning allows you to really internalize in order to ever challenge those convictions. I mean, it's the same with ideology, be it like political or otherwise. People are really born into a set of ideals. Same with like how it is your relationship to food and culture, etc. Like so much of what you are is what you were taught and what you consumed by way of like observation, right? So of course, like, yeah, you have to challenge that. You can't just say it is that way because it is.
I used to think, for example, that I could never be close with someone or date somebody that has like the same name as my sister. And guess what? My sister's name is Julia, and I thought I could never.
Let me also be really clear that
I live with somebody that has that name.
I think, and this is interesting because I really think you have a lot of ideas about what it is you want or don't want until you find legitimately transcendental compatibility. And I do believe that that can exist, especially if you're distinct or peculiar enough. To find someone with whom you really share like formative foundational conviction and like desire is cool as hell, and it really does like totally subvert. Like I used to think that it was all just kind of an effort thing and you could make anything work if you tried, and then I like, you know, over time like met some people where I was like, oh no, this is totally different. Like I really do feel a distinct alignment with you. Yeah, like if that person had if that person's first name was my mother's, middle name was my sister's, and last name was my father's, I would not care. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't matter to me. We can change that.
I hooked up with a girl whose name was Linda. My mom's name's Linda. And it was right before like Thanksgiving too. And I like gathered around the Thanksgiving table.
I fucking can't.
And they were like, yo, like, so like where it was in San Francisco. And like, so like where are you staying in San Francisco? I was like, oh, I stayed at a girl's place last night, actually. And like, oh, like what's her name? And I was like, it's Linda.
Yeah,
and my family has never let me live that down, and I will never.
You know what, man?
Any girl named Linda, fuck off. I can't. Well,
in light of the incest talk, I do think
you're not gonna meet many Lindas in this day and age.
But she wasn't white. She was Asian. So
well, yeah,
that's why. So it's
there.
Yeah, mom.
Fucking hell, man. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Like, I do think that like modern dating is something that I find fascinating insofar that it's never been more, you know, like we've never had more competing and malignant messaging about dating. Like, I think that like, it's interesting looking like, because even you see like, I mean, I know this is your special interest too, Charlie, but like the whole like clavicular OD phenomenon, you know what I mean? Where you have someone who's like truly architecting on totally artificial, largely male determined standards of male attractiveness or dominance, what it is he should be, and then like literally killing himself to become it. Like it is truly tragic in that it's a perfect representation of attractiveness and intimacy no longer being about sex and partnership, but of your position in the ELO, of like where it is you rank amongst other people by way of access to opportunity. It's so weird, you know?
And it's also, I mean, I just feel like clavicular is also, I believe he said that he was diagnosed with autism as a child. And I do think that those kinds of like, I think that like a lot of younger neurodivergent men are drawn into those things as a way to compensate for their kind of lack of like social grace.
It also is creating
like social understanding.
It's creating a hard system for attraction, right? Of like, this is the geometry of it. Yes, it's totally misguided.
And it's like, it's tragic. Like he should be playing Magic the Gathering, not like, you know, not, you know, snorting meth and taking steroids and making himself infertile at the age of how old is he? 20?
Yeah,
22?
but you created a mathematics for masculinity that you believe is going to allow you to be sufficient. You know, it's all kind of like arming yourself with knowledge and systems to combat insecurity rather than just being unabashedly nerdy and meeting a cool DM that you want to, you know, make babies with. Instead, you've created this bizarre sort of like, I don't know, like shield. Ultimately, it's internalizing the mask.
Yeah, and I also think that, like, especially in an era where, you know, due to more gender equality in the sense that women are, you know, no longer forced to rely upon men. Like, I think that masculinity, which was already a nebulous concept, is even more nebulous because, like, well, what does it matter or mean anymore? And so I think even not just, you know, neurodivergent men, like I think that it's just wildly attractive to men at the moment because, I mean, my goodness, there's not really any sort of concrete way to make a man, I guess.
Well, I think that's actually like really anthropologically consistent across all eras. Like you can find literature written in like, you know, like 2000 BC, reflecting on how men are no longer masculine, how we aren't like our fathers were, and that it's like this kind of decaying of competence. But it really is just that now you realize on some level in this position that the people before you likely didn't know either. You just identified authority in them because they were older and spoke with confidence. And now it's your turn to pretend. And we've continued continued that ad infinitum. But I do think that it's interesting that there's so many identities being sold to you. I don't know. Do you guys have a memory of like identifying something you felt you should be when you were younger and really trying to become it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are some of those memories? I'm curious.
Well, I think
hit
for me,
puberty just like later than everyone else.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, pop off. I want nut.
Yeah.
Me? Okay. That was pretty much just it. I was a very late bloomer. Mm-hmm. So I just hit puberty like way later than everyone else.
Like when are we talking?
Mostly just like after Christmas, my junior year of high school.
Oh, so you recall it was like you went Saiyan all of a sudden? You were like, hold on.
I grew 9 inches like in like 5 months.
Yeah. That sounds like medieval almost. Like there's an element of that feels so torturous and weird. Like someone hooked you up to a stretcher and just made you
it like
expand.
It's very bad for your brain apparently.
Okay.
So I got really tall and then I got like all depressed.
What?
Which is weird because I wanted to be tall.
Did your body hurt?
Classic tale, huh?
Did your body hurt?
Really? But now I just have like abnormally long legs. I have like I'm 6'1". I got like 6'4" legs and like a 5'9" torso.
I'm the same way. I'm like I have legs that want to be significantly taller than my torso wants, and it makes me look like Gumby. It's a very weird.
I remember from soccer though, you were surprisingly flexible. You had good range of motion though. You were like pretty flexible. Me? Yeah.
That's the first time anyone has ever told me that. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'm like in my like trying to like stretch arc to do the splits. So I
appreciate that. That was a good compliment.
I also do want to make it known that nothing will make you feel more like achieved in your athletic prowess than being around streamers. They're going to be like, oh my God, how did you do that? And you like threw a ball. And they'll be like, that was, you really know what you're doing. It'll change things, you know?
That's what you'd think. But I did that basketball tournament.
Oh.
One of the worst days of my life.
What happened? Do you want to talk through it?
Well, it goes back to the tall thing. So this is actually kind of funny. I used to play basketball a lot. I was the point guard. Like I was on YMCA teams. And I was just too tall or too short to make any actual school team. And so then I just naturally like you stop playing. But I was good like at the time for my like age and height, whatever.
Like 13 years ago, you were good type E.
Basically, I was killing it. But I would like play occasionally with my friends and stuff. I grew really tall, like very quickly. And I had never seen myself on camera like be athletic really since my dad would record me at like YMCA games and stuff. So this was the first time really that I was watching myself do something athletic in 15 years from like a third person perspective.
Oh my God. Weirdest feeling. Yeah. You're like,
oh no, I had an ego death. I thought I was good at sports. And then I watched myself and I was like, oh, I'm dog shit. I'm like actually dog shit.
Yeah. It's like hearing your voice for the first time, you know, like really hearing it. And you're like, oh, no one should be subjected to this. They should muzzle me. Like, why did they let me do this in public? It shouldn't be allowed, you know?
It was brutal. I realized in that moment that I am not athletic. I thought I was like sneaky athletic. And then I was like, oh, it's not even sneaky. You know what I mean?
But I also think maybe you're getting like media-fied in that. Like maybe you are sneaky athletic in the context of your environment. And maybe you would have made a good like, you know, member of a local militia somewhere in an outpost, you know, and they would have been like, oh, that's the sword guy. He's really good with the sword, you know? No, because you're dealing, you have to look at like LeBron James at like 42 with a bionic body. He's
one of the best men we got.
He's the GOAT. He's our guy.
I think that's one of the hardest and saddest things about sports is that it's really like you really have to be born the right way.
And chosen one.
Yeah, and that makes it kind of sad because it's not even something that you can work at a lot of the time. Like it really is just like I mean you can practice obviously. Like you can get better at a sport, but you know, like basketball, like you're saying, if you're not big enough, well, fuck you. You can't play.
I think that that's one of the largest sort of like, I don't want to call it like, I think it's one of the greatest cultural failures of the sort of like commodification of identity and of every talent or ability or hobby you have, is that we have now made invalid the expression of self or the experience of the body's ability in the event that it isn't like, you know, let's say like sufficiently impressive to the point of being worthy of sale, right? Like, I think it's really strange how there was a time where you just liked being like, hey, I was the guy at the local YMCA who was good at shooting 3-pointers, and you didn't feel as if it was useless to do in the event that you weren't super talented. You know what I mean? Like, some people could just go draw without thinking that it had to be a side hustle that they could commodify. And I think that the idea that all of the things you are and all of the things you do need to be presented and sold to an audience is like really corrosive to the experience of ever getting better or enjoying shit, you know? And I think it's one of the most egregious wounds we have, in that like now we're so predeterministic. We look at, it's why I think like blackpilling and the concept of clavicular and looks maxing, it all came to be, is that we have looked at like, it's really interesting because I've been talking to like a lot of these like younger Los Angelino creators, and so many of them are like almost like legitimately emotionally devastated by the existence of this kid named Marlon, who's like this like tall model guy in their circle, and he's a very good looking guy.
Handsome.
He's super handsome, but in their minds it's like
if you haven't seen him, he looks very similar to me. We get confused a lot, actually.
Yeah. What's his name? Marlon?
Marlon, yeah. He's very like archetypally good looking. It's like it's a very model-esque kind of appearance.
What does he do? I want to see what he looks like.
He's like a tall, handsome guy who I think he's actually a pretty like generally affable, funny person too. Like, you know, like not in like not to reduce him to just being good looking, but like he seems to have shaken a lot of these young men to their core, in that they think that that is the only thing you can be in order to have like fulfillment or like belonging or romantic opportunity. And it's really strange to watch because like, yes, you have the ability to see like really uniquely like attractive people by way of cultural expectation, right? But that is not how people are trying to find compatibility or companionship now. Oh my God, Kat.
That's so cute.
Oh yeah, this is my boy Eric.
Wait, what's the name of it? What's the name? Eric?
Eric, yeah.
I say I like when we give like very like common like white people names to animals. Like when it's like, this is John, you know, like I think that's really funny. Yeah, that to me is a really elite dog name or cat name rather, you know?
Yeah. He showed up at my house one day and wouldn't leave. So he's just my cat now.
He loves you.
We had to figure out a name.
That's the best cat. That's the best cat.
Yeah.
The cats that have chosen, they're like, no, I'm hanging out. You can do what you want to do, but I'm hanging.
I have thoughts on Marlon. I have just looked at him, and I think that visually he's kind of boring in his, I guess, sort of perfection. And I think it's sad that a lot of the young dudes are devastated by him because, like, women will date whatever.
No,
like,
again,
women will just
the
date,
Big Bird debacle. He looks like Big Bird is something I've heard. You know,
for the clip, I just want to say I think that Marlon's really hot, and I wish I had his abs. Thanks.
But he is
He's objectively a very good-looking guy, but I think
it's a misinterpretation. Yeah. Go. You're cooking. I'm sorry. Go.
I think that a lot of women are attracted to people that look interesting.
I think that there's a lot of narrative at the center of what like women typically express attraction to be. It's like kind of like ideas of what the texture of a person could suggest of their identity, you know? And so it isn't to say that like that person, because I actually think this dude's like pretty funny and generally affable. And like, I don't think that he's like a boring person, but I think that the reality is that you are given a great deal of charitability by women that men aren't necessarily extending to women themselves. Like the idea that, oh, wow, there's something unique here that I find interesting and I want to know more about is something that can exist by way of just your physical appearance. You know what I mean? I think that that's important for men to know that like, yeah, man, I mean, like that person's very attractive. He's going to have a lot of opportunity based on being very like, you know, like what you would probably just say is like, not generically necessarily, but like archetypally good looking, you know? That doesn't mean that you're now lacking opportunity because you aren't that. Because luckily, you know, you aren't a woman existing in male dominated spaces. That would probably be much more damning in the other direction, right?
I'm willing to bet that most of Marlon's opportunities due to his beauty probably come from other men.
Yes, 100%. Without a doubt.
I think that heterosexual and queer men.
I can tell you that my experience in modeling is entirely predicated on the male gaze. That was all it ever was. It was a bunch of men, largely gay, determining the extent to which I would flirt with or capitulate their advances. And then I got opportunity predicated on that specifically. It was men determining what was attractive and operating on that principle. It didn't really have anything to do with whether or not women were into me or not. That wasn't the goal. That wasn't what they were selling. They were selling power fantasy. I mean, that's what you are as a model. It's a fantasy for men to kind of attach to and project upon, especially if you're like a social media guy. Obviously, high fashion's its own kind of thing.
Everyone knows what women really want is a 5'10" minotaur that's a billionaire with
that you can milk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Milk.
That needs to be milked.
And I'll continue to write that fiction for you guys.
Yeah. No, we need that. We need more of it. I do think you missed our entire discourse on smut. I'm actually curious. Are either of you two interested in smut? Not have you read smut? Not smut? Yeah.
You know what's funny? I recently learned like what that is.
Oh.
I mean, I've heard like 50 Shades of Grey or whatever. But I learned, what was it? The fan fiction website? What's
AO3, yeah.
AO3.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah. And it was someone told me to read one of The Yard, like Ludwig's podcast. And as I was reading it, unbeknownst to Ludwig, he rated me.
Perfect.
As I was like reading a very sexual one that I had to like halfway
Is
through.
slime in that one? I want to give it a read. Is slime in that one? I'll give it a read if so.
Yes, and it involves the two of them mostly.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
But I decided that it would be cool if I was in one. But I'm not there yet.
No, I do think that that's an important like milestone in a career when you exist in someone's like fan fiction headcanon,
If girls are writing yaoi of you with your friends, you've made it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. It's
One
true.
day.
Yaoi is also something I find fascinating. I find yaoi and futanari porn to be one of the most interesting kind of like manifestations of like sexual preference and like psychological security in the premise of sexual intimacy. Do you know what I mean? Like
I could talk at length about yaoi with you as a lifelong yaoi enjoyer myself. It is extremely interesting.
Can you explain yaoi real quick before we get too deep? Because there are some non-knowers.
Yaoi is boys' love. It is.
I love
it is
yaoi.
Typically, you associate it with anime boys. Fujoshis, which is the Japanese term for rotten girls, that's what it translates to, are women that like yaoi.
Blue Lock is a really good modern example of like a low-key boy love anime, in my opinion, for people who are like curious.
So the whole vibe, though, is that like very much yaoi does not at all imitate realistic homosexual relations, not even a little bit. Frequently, if you're reading the smut, there's a concerning lack of lubricant. The top and bottom, dichotomy is very it's a dichotomy. It's very solid.
There's the uke and the seme.
Yeah, things like that. But what it really is I think it's women who are very uncomfortable with the way, and not just straight women, but like queer women as well, uncomfortable with there was not for a long time, pornography that was really meant for women, gay or straight. And so I think that, or even if there was always kind of the uncomfortable, power imbalance between men and women. And so what I found from this, there's also like people have written like scholarly articles on this. It's incredibly interesting. Is that yaoi is kind of a way to imitate heterosexual dynamics, the hardcore yuke seme. That's also what the alpha, beta, omega stuff is about. Is it's literally like imitating patriarchy, but without the discomfort of a woman being oppressed. And there's kind of a safety in being able to identify with the male or female yuki. Similarly, like for queer women, there's also, because essentially all, lesbian porn is like made for dudes. There's very little made for women. There's also kind of a safety in that. Had a lot of interesting childhood experiences with other queer girls growing up with yaoi being like our linchpin of the thing that got us to. Very weird. But I am fascinated by it. I think it's so interesting.
No, I think that you're completely on the money in my experience talking to women who have predominantly like built like, I don't want to say like sexual identity, but certainly like who entertained sexual impulse predominantly through yaoi, like, manga, etc. is that it is a way of removing the sort of inherent threat or power asymmetry of sexual intimacy that heterosexual dynamics involve, so that it can be enjoyed for its like kinesthetic reality of like, this is the motion and the visual experience of it. And I think it's really interesting to consider that also in the context of like previous conversations regarding consent and the concept of safety and dynamics, that's always something that is being interpreted and considered, that like, oh, this isn't, you don't have to consider your safety in the same capacity if you are consuming media that doesn't feel directly threatening to that, that sense of autonomy or agency in physical engagements with men. This is a man and a man. You get to enjoy what is frankly just like male sexual expression without it feeling as if it threatens or oppresses your autonomy. I think that in a lot of ways, men can kind of experience similar fascination in things like futanari porn. I think that it's really common for people to be like, I want to have my genitalia represented here, but the concept of physical intimacy is still foreign to me and I can't see myself in it. You know what I mean? It's like they want to have something that feels accessible or proximal. And this is beyond obviously the degree to which it can go on to just be blatant fetishism or like, like chaser behavior. But I think that there's something to be said for, this is a way for me to interpret femininity and the expressions of feminine intimacy in a way that is simultaneously like representative of my like sort of like mechanical reality in sex without bringing into question my actual place in it, or whether or not I'm like comfortable in it.
The visual confirmation of the, especially if we're talking about like male and futanari, the visual confirmation when I've discussed this with people that enjoy those sorts of things, because I was very intrigued by that. It's like calming and affirming in a way, is to go, oh, I can tell that the girl likes it, whereas if she had a vulva, you wouldn't be able to tell.
Yeah. No, yeah, actually really interesting. It completely It circumvents that math of like, what does it look like for someone to be having fun? Okay, no, there's dick there. That makes sense, and it's ready. So yeah, you guys have any? Sorry, this is probably Charlie and I's special interest here. Do you guys like food? Do you like futa porn?
Well, I grew up reading a lot of yaoi and watching a lot of yaoi, but I was. I loved anime and I loved hentai and I just got into that and then I got into yuri. I watched it all.
Can you explain the difference between yaoi and yuri?
Yeah, yaoi's 2 dudes and yuri's 2 ladies.
Cool.
And I just kind of liked it all. Of course, like if I reflect upon it, I can understand why there were certain parts about it. Same with the futa, right? It's like for me, I think I liked the power dynamics in the yaoi, and then with the yuri, I think I liked that it typically included more emotions, and so I liked the 2 different types of hentai or whatever I was reading or watching for differing reasons. But I also just think it's completely normal to like, you could be, if a straight dude watched yaoi, I would not think anything of it. Same with Yuri. It's like, it's visually stimulating content that has themes that I think appeal to anyone of every sexual orientation, I'm
gonna be so honest. I have no fucking idea what we're talking about.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's incredibly nerdy, neurodivergent. But like, what I love is that,
I've heard these words.
Julia, can I say something that I really value about you as a human is that you are one of the few like tethers to normalcy a lot of people have on the platform, because it is so, to me, expected that everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say this, because I spend so much time with neurodivergent, terminally online people, that you being like, what in the fuck's happening is honestly really refreshing. No, but I'm curious, like, that, I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things where people who are maybe just like, the things that are offered to them don't make sense, so they avoid it. You know what I mean? They look for something that feels more palatable. You know?
Well, and I also something that God, I don't want to feel like I'm exposing myself. I feel like it's also. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. I just realized you don't even know what futanari is. We completely. No. Oh, okay.
Oh, what is the?
It's girl cock.
What is fudo cock?
Oh, okay.
Girl cock.
One of you can take this.
It's futanari is a Japanese word. It's a lady with a penis, not like a trans woman. Typically, like it's like in hentai and stuff. And typically the vibe is usually not like a transgender woman, like someone who transitioned to female. It's typically it's like
think magic.
They spontaneously grow penises or something like that.
It is not meant to represent something that I think really exists. I think that it is truly like a fantastical concept.
It is, yes, totally fantasy. And I think is kind of normal considering I think most human cultures have had a mild fascination with the idea of someone being truly intersex, which can't actually exist in the sense where someone would have both working, like a uterus and working testicles.
Okay.
What I was going to say, though, is I feel like futanari can be, for heterosexual men, a way to, like, maybe these dudes have a fascination with the phallus.
Oh, yeah.
But are very deeply uncomfortable expressing that. And so futanari becomes a way to channel their obsession with the phallus. Because I've also God, I don't want to go too in depth in this, is that, like, I'll just say, in a lot of these arts and animations, there's very little attention to detail given in the anatomy of the vulva. And
it's just a line.
It's just a line. It's just a hole. But the penis is extremely detailed.
Yes.
Detailed to an extreme. And these are heterosexual men drawing this, and this is made for straight dudes.
I think that the dick is just a conduit for power fantasy, ultimately, and that it's built on a monism of like the size of one's dick is the size of one's masculine prowess and their deservedness. And I mean it, I legitimately believe that if men had control over the size of their dicks, we would quickly render the world impotent. I think that it would just become a matter of being larger than the largest penis. And it would continue infinitely until we had this sort of land of overflowing penis that was, displacing the atmosphere. I don't think it has anything to do with actual like performance or satisfaction. Or they would realize that pretty much exactly what they have is good.
It's totally just visual. It's just a totem.
Yeah. Well, it's more so, I think, protection against the possibility of losing what it is you value, which is obviously, like, in a lot of contexts, the affection or companionship of a woman. So
you're saying it's not about the penis.
It's about kind of
the power of the penis.
The penis to them.
Penis represents.
Yes. Power. It is.
So why is it so detailed?
Because that is their fixation in sexual encounters, is the security that they feel in the dick they wield. That in having a giant dick, they protect themselves against invalidity, embarrassment, or displacement by a larger man. I am safe in having this monstrously unusable penis. And the vagina is very secondary in that is simply where it goes. The dynamic is predicated on the power wealth wielded through the dick, is kind of my interpretation of it. And it's also like a theme in it.
One's the sheath, yeah?
Yeah, no, exactly. But it's funny in that, like, it's clear that the actual joy of, there's nothing's very O'Keefe about it. You're not seeing anything vaginal, really. It is truly, like, the less you can see, the more that they've succeeded in their eyes, However, the uterus, deeply,
very detailed.
Like for whatever reason, they love to do this X-ray. This shot where you're just looking like.
That's also masculinity and virility. That is impregnation, successful impregnation, proving
I did it. I did it. Yeah.
That's it.
Can I check in with you guys? Arthur, Julia, how do you feel about this discourse? I'm curious. How are we feeling right now?
Well, I feel like I'm learning a lot, but I don't even know what to ask. I literally asked my own Discord, like, what am I supposed to ask?
Oh my God. No, so what we would say is that this is what we'd call a failure of hosting, because I have allowed my special interest of how it is we depict genitalia in pornography that's drawn.
Also, I'll go.
Hey, hi.
I'll go fuck myself. Don't ask me how I'm doing.
Blau, how are you doing? Well, Blau, I know that you're gonna hurl something at us no matter what here in a few minutes. There's gonna be some take or some position. It's gonna be probably about like Kanye West or something, which actually is interesting.
I have to
if this is your first exposure to me, I just want to make it clear I don't usually talk about these things. This was just.
Oh no! Yeah. Don't worry.
An opportunity.
Don't worry. I've said way worse shit on Wigs.
Damn it.
It's true. It's true.
Don't worry. I've said, but guys, we're only scratching this. I actually do have to go. But,
no worries. No worries. I will say, generally, guys, by the way, I've kept you for 3 hours plus. So if you guys want to dip, you're always welcome to. I've satisfied you've satisfied your commitment to me, but I'll talk until I'm tired, probably. So
I have to go though.
Yes. No, you go. Get out.
Illy.
But guys, make sure you shout out Blau. Blau's amazing. Big fan of Blau. Beautiful man. Kind of a whore. Beautiful man. Really. But no, I am curious then, guys, because you have, I think before you, I've yet to see, and I'm curious about how you feel about it, the experience of having, your experience as roommates be something that a lot of people are invested in. They're invested in your roommate experience. How do you metabolize that on a day-to-day basis? Like, truly.
Ladies first.
Oh, me?
What a gentleman.
No, I mean, it's one of those things where like, I don't really think that I think too much of it. It's one of those situations where just as a live streamer, you share your life, and this is just a part of my life that I decided to share, and that, it's real life that has a camera to it. So I don't know if I think about it really all that much, other than that we're just sharing it with the community. So.
And everyone needs to know what good roommate dynamics look like. And I think that that's a triumph in and of itself. I think you guys do a really good job of showing that, which is good.
Thanks.
I also think that you guys are just both truly like remarkably normal not in a diminutive way. And like you are like grounded, healthy people. And that's a very, I think it's like almost like a zoo exhibit for autistic people where they're like, huh. So that's how that goes. Interesting.
Yeah, it's been good so far.
It's been, go ahead.
If there's one thing I can say about this is I think one very good sign is not getting tired of each other, even if you're nonverbal sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Hey, have you guys heard the term parallel play? I had someone introduce me to that recently. It sounds kinky. It's not because, but like, wait, hold on. Julia, you seem scandalized. What's happening?
Parallel play.
It's not kinky.
Not at all.
Not.
It sounds really kinky. It's not at all. It's autistic stuff. It's the idea of like existing.
Do it all the time.
I'll get my notepad out.
Yeah, it's the idea of like existing in a room with someone, independently engaging in your own hobbies and interests, and that being sufficient quality time. Like that just feels good to like be with someone.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Yeah, that's the apex, because that's stillness. Mm-hmm. I don't know. So to me, a great roommate dynamic feels very still and safe. It should not feel frenetic and intense. What do you guys feel about that belief?
Arthur?
Well, usually it's very calm. Sometimes it can get intense.
Wow, what a man of many words. I don't know. I would definitely say that when it comes to being roommates, and they were roommates.
Great roommates.
I have had the worst roommates experiences in my entire life growing up. And I have to say, the most important part that I've definitely found, and that I think me and Arthur are kind of one on, is we just have very similar lifestyles. We might not have the same what's the word? We don't have all
Hobbies,
of the same interests. And when we were talking about dating earlier and like the downfall of dating and things, I think a lot of times people only focus on what hobbies do we like together? This person really likes to read books and really likes to watch anime, and they love going to the gym, but they don't actually go over compatibility and how lifestyles tend to mesh. And
totally agree.
Luckily me and Arthur are OCD and a little ADHD, and you
have compatible pathologies.
Lifestyles work.
I always say that I think how you want to spend your time is infinitely more significant than what you want to spend that time on, right? So like if it is someone who really wants to go out and explore things, you are probably going to need a partner that enjoys that. If you're someone who really enjoys being at home, it doesn't really matter what that being at home looks like. To share that space is like, to share that desire to be home is pretty fucking important when it comes to like long-term compatibility. Because I've dated people who like love to do like Molly on Wednesdays and shit, and I just like it was wild. Hell. And I really was thinking like, I guess that this is just the sacrifice I have to make. Like that's what love is like I have to support this and like go try it, and it was miserable. Like I didn't believe that I could find people who were comparably still and nerdy, because it just wasn't my experience of people yet. You know, I was young. But fuck, guys, it's out there. You do not compromise unless you really feel like you need to grow and be better. I don't know. Go outside, explore things. But I did it. I'm tired of it. I like hanging out inside. It's very comfy. I like to read. You know, I do that now. You know, that's for me.
Yeah. With that being said, S-Fan is a great roommate. You know what I mean? He really keeps the best roommates clean. You know.
He's no, that he doesn't do that. That was never a strength. that was actually, in fact, I don't think I've ever. If we're talking like, okay, so talking real plain language here, I can say this: the only thing I care about in a roommate is that you do not fuck up the common room or in my pan, my bowl, and my spoon. I pared my life down to be the best possible roommate. I use nothing but I use one saucepan, I use one bowl, and I use one spoon. And that is the entirety of I've carried it with me everywhere I've gone. Infringing upon that is the only way to upset me. Do not fuck with the bowl. Do not fuck with the pan. Do not fuck with the spoon. If you use any of the above, clean them. I will never make a mess. Everything will be relegated to those things, you know?
So Wake, who are you talking about? Can you spit us any names, huh?
Oh, well, no, because everyone's been canceled. Life, huh? Oh, no. I mean, no one wants to hear about Grayson. I mean, that's not. No, I actually love I love a roommate who just stays the fuck in their own room. Honestly, I think that's an elite roommate who's just like completely like, fuck up your space, king. Do whatever you want in there. I don't mind.
Like they barely live there. That's the best.
Oh yeah. Best. Yeah. No, that's the cheat code. Wait, Nut, do you have roommates?
Yeah.
What's your roommate criteria? We're not talking about dating anymore. Before that was the language, but now I mean real roommates.
Yeah, okay. I just moved to a new apartment like 2-3 days ago. With different roommates. My roommates before were the ones I moved here from. We broke up. We split. That's why. Yeah.
Oh my god.
We found the cats together.
You took the cat?
Wow.
Well, it's drama. Okay, so this is what happened.
Oh my god.
Right, this is what happened.
Wait. Let me see. Okay.
It's not like real drama, but we moved from Phoenix. I was doing music. I moved with all my friends who are producers and recording engineers. A few years pass. They're all very successful in their jobs. One of them has like 3 Grammys now.
Oh my god.
But I kind of went a different route, where I'm streaming now and I do YouTube stuff and I don't really do music anymore. And once I started streaming, the main thing I realized was it's incredibly difficult because I didn't watch Twitch before at all.
I was the same way.
Yeah, and none of my roommates did, and none of them are available because they're working nonstop. The situation came that one of my roommates was in a long distance relationship. He moved back home to propose and is now engaged. So we decided, yes, we decided also our house was dog shit. So we were going to move.
Smart.
At the same time, 2 of my other friends who were my college roommates also live in Los Angeles and were looking. And I was like, I kind of want to move with them. Makes more sense for me.
Yeah.
My other roommate who we had like the cat thing together. He moved with some of his other friends. The other roommate who was still there, and then 2 other people that we're friends with, they all don't like cats and said we will not take care of the cats. So then we were gonna split them, which I think might be sad.
Oh no!
I don't know how that works.
Well, I mean that'd kill them.
We ended up not doing it.
Oh,
good.
Oh, say that would kill the cat.
No, so now I just have both the cats.
Okay, good.
I brought them yesterday to my house. They are terrified of a new environment.
Yeah, that's normal for cats. They don't like change.
Yeah, but it's also, but you do have so many boxes, which they also like. So once those empty,
they're obsessed with, I don't even know if you get the full scope of it.
Oh yeah, no, that's a jungle gym. I mean, that's peak.
They're having the time of their life.
Bros found peak. You made it.
But
so do you live in like a streamer apartment now?
No, but they're more comfortable in like a streaming environment. I think one of my other roommate, who I don't live with anymore, also was very helpful, and he worked as my cameraman a couple times when I did IRL stuff. But his schedule is like sometimes it's like 8 p.m. to like 4 a.m. or like noon to 3 a.m. and is working a lot. And so also on top of that, it's like when that's happening, I'm just at home alone. And I wanted like a more structured schedule. These two friends have just regular jobs.
Okay, I'm going to be honest, bro. You're describing such like remarkably normal and grounded roommate relationships that I almost just feel good for you right now. I'm like, this sounds
I've
healthy.
never had like drama. My fault. Well, there was one of our roommates we kicked out of the house in the last house.
Yeah, talk your shit. What did he do? I want some fucking, give me the tea.
It's actually really sad.
Oh.
Okay, well, there's two things. Okay. One of them was a business thing where he screwed over, one of our friends brought him into a business thing in music stuff. And then that guy, after being brought in, tried to like screw the other guy out of it.
Oh.
Like with a lawyer. He got a lawyer secretly and was trying to like take all the money. This is the other one, which as pet owners, you guys are going to be very upset with. And I don't think I've ever said this publicly. But so wait, not to be gross. Also, I have a Zin in my mouth. I'm going to take it out.
That's okay. Oh, wow.
Sorry.
That looks like it was multi-stage. Like more came out than you thought.
This is
I'm just one man. I try my best.
And you do well.
Okay, but this is the thing. Also, I've never owned a cat before. What happened was I was filming a dating video. I came home. Eric was just at my front door. I'd only heard one story of feral cats before, which was that someone got bit by the cat and got rabies. So I immediately was like, but then he was so friendly and cute. And then I was like, he's fine. And I went in my house. I got sardines, which my one roommate had.
Okay.
And
sardine roommates are tough, by the way. My roommate Sierra loves sardines. They're very smelly. Like it's a very, Sorry,
that's
continue.
So unusual. Is that popular food?
It's a hipster thing. 10 Fish have made a wave recently. No one agrees with it except the people eating it. I don't know why.
He ate a lot of foods that were not foods that I would normally pick.
Okay.
And he also did smell very bad, but that's a different thing.
Okay.
Whatever. Different strokes. But
true.
I fed some sardines. I went inside. I went back outside. There were like 8 cats now. I was like, fuck. Set out like a blanket and like a little pillow or whatever. Didn't know what to do. Next morning, it was just 2 cats now. And then those cats, it was the main one, Eric, and then another one who we thought was a boy, so we named Brent.
You can't really tell. It's tough. I don't know.
But then over time, they kind of stayed around. We bought some cat stuff and put them in our garage for the time being because we didn't have space in the house. One of our roommates was like very allergic to cats. So we put them in the garage. We kept it open just all the time. And they were like roaming around. But then Brent over time was very pregnant. So then we were like, context clues. This is a girl.
Oh, hold on.
Yes. Then eventually we were like, we should get them like checked out to make sure they're like healthy and everything. So we took them to the vet. Especially the one that was pregnant. She started to get very noticeably pregnant. We set up a doctor's appointment for her. My roommate, who at this point had already screwed over the other one. And so we were all kind of mad at him generally. And it was like the icy in the house. He, without telling us, went to get her spayed.
Okay.
Because his girlfriend at the time said, I felt her, I think she has fleas, which she did not. And the babies will die. And also we can get her spayed or something. We had Googled it already. We saw that that will terminate the pregnancy if you spay a pregnant cat.
Why would they do that?
Yeah. So
how is that even legal?
Planned Parenthood.
So he was like, he was like, no, I'm not aborting the pet, like the cat. What are you talking about? We were like, well, we Googled it and looked it up. Every single thing says spaying the pregnant cat is an abortion. He said, how stupid do you think I am? Then 5 minutes later, his girlfriend called us sobbing, saying, we didn't know what happened. They aborted the babies.
Oh my God.
We went to go pick up the cat.
That's so fucking horrible.
It was so sad. We went to go pick her up.
You know, there's a part of me that I don't.
You have to.
Go
What's
ahead.
up?
Sorry, no, I'll save the thought.
Oh, sorry. So then he was like, also, I'm at work, so you have to pick her up. He didn't tell us at all that this was happening. We already had an appointment in like 3 days. I'm still so mad about it, but
I fucking hate that guy.
I do too. Thank you. Oh my God, I hate him so much. If I see him in public, I genuinely I've never had.
I beat the shit out of him.
The place also, you would think context clues again. We went to the place. It was called Fix Nation. You would think you see that place, probably not gonna not abort the baby. You would think, but I don't. Whatever. We said we're here to pick up Brent. They said you named the cat, and we said, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "Well, this isn't. It's like a pound thing." We found her in a van that was about to drive her to the pound.
Oh.
We got her. We brought her home. She had a scar that they did not do a very good job of healing. We brought her home. She was so sad. Everyone in our house was crying. He came home from work and said, guys, I'm mad at her too.
Yeah.
The girl, like his girl.
So he dumped it onto her. Yeah. Okay.
So then we were like, no, this is you.
Yeah.
And then he is one of those guys that has this thing where like he just could not be like, it was my fault. Like he just couldn't say it.
Yeah.
It was
impossible for him to be accountable. He also sounds like the kind of person who would scam his friend out of money. I think that these are consistent behaviors.
The extent of it too, you have no idea. And it was like a very big, important job for like a really famous person.
Mm-hmm.
And like ended up getting them both fired from that job.
Ooh.
And then we said, we want you out by the end of the month. And then the next day we woke up and his stuff was all gone. He had left in the middle of the night. And I've not talked to him since. And this is a guy I've known for like 9 years.
Oh, sorry, but fuck that guy.
Out of nowhere, I think he got like a taste of like a important gig or like a famous person association, and just became an.
Well, yeah, he felt like he could be who he was. I think that happens with a lot of people when they no longer feel they have to, capitulate to you or care about how it is you'll react. They'll show you how they would otherwise be.
Luckily, she's doing better. She's in the other room. I do think she definitely still has trauma associated from it. When I brought her in the car, she was crying in the car. I think probably a result of that.
Yeah.
Not to be a bummer, but yes, that is my only roommate bad story.
Yeah, man, that's way worse than like he was smelly. That was your one roommate bad story was person terrible. Roommate bad. Like I had a roommate who did a bunch of acid, and it kind of spiraled him into sort of like pseudo schizophrenic episode where his mother had to come stay with us for a while. He was like taking all the mirrors down in the house because he couldn't he was like spooked by his reflection. It was a whole thing. He would design, he would architect these kind of like parabolic mushroom houses that were made of like solar panels, and was convinced we all had to move to the equator. And it was all stuff he got over, but he did have a really brutal month, and it was probably one of the shittier experiences. Also, this was my freshman year of college, and he had a pocket pussy that he would put in his shower caddy and openly take it to the showers and back. And everyone was aware of it. It was a very strange thing. This is like a co-ed dorm and co-ed bathrooms. And everyone's like, oh, okay. I guess
I like that's like, those are two. The first one sounds worse, but wait, was he doing it after or before the acid thing?
Well, no, the whole time. That never stopped, even throughout the acid episode.
That was a thing that maintained.
Yeah, but I think what was really fascinating is he never felt as if he shouldn't do that. It wasn't it didn't feel like it was a deliberate ploy to make people uncomfortable. I think that you have these people who are moving out of the house for the first time, and they don't understand what is or isn't acceptable intrinsically in some instance, It was a very odd.
Well, a lot of people fry their brains with psychedelics if they're doing them constantly. They just become mentally void for a while, and it's creepy.
It's scary. Not to, again, another story, but when I was a junior in college, I learned about microdosing.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I should try that because like I'm a regular person, you know, people get like depression or whatever. So I was doing it. I did it like every 3 days for a year. And then I felt good. After a year though, acid.
Oh.
But after a year, I learned, again, this is just me being an idiot, obviously. I wasn't microdosing. I was just cutting it in half. And I thought that's what microdosing was.
You're like, yeah, it's 50%. It's getting micro. To be fair, it's a little tiny paper.
Was usually like that is becoming like a
it's a Silicon Valley
medical treatment for mental health.
It's like
actually no.
Like,
so
I
no.
thought it was
No. It's just full
dissolve it in water.
A lot of the literature is built around actual full psychedelic doses, having enduring sort of positive correlation to heightened neuroplasticity and capacity to form new patterns and augment pre-existing behaviors, kind of like standard kind of what's the right word for it? Like emotional dispositions, you know. However, that's also what they observe SSRIs are really effective at doing, is heightening neuroplasticity and allowing you to create that change. Yeah, repathing ultimately.
I've only heard about it from a friend he was Australian and he was getting the treatment for PTSD. And I think he did it specifically because he'd been very SSRI resistant. So I think never heard of microdosing acid before though.
It's very Silicon Valley, bro. Like they love that shit. It was a huge trend.
I didn't know that. I probably would have not done it if I even knew that. I will say it was weirdly, I got straight A's that year, the best grades of my college career. I don't remember most of it. Like that. I don't have a lot of memories from that year. I do remember though, one day we were taking a test. I don't know at what point. I'm assuming it was kind of early in doing it, but we were taking a test and I was looking around. I don't think I had studied very much. So I was kind of like just sitting in class, like thinking, and I was looking around at the walls, and I went to ASU. So a lot of the classrooms have like very bright yellow walls. It's one of their colors.
Oh, that's terrible. And
I remember looking around and just thinking like, damn, these walls are yellow as hell. And then I noticed everyone was looking at me, and I had said that out loud during the test.
I do love that all of those things combined amounted to your best academic year, which I think might be an ASU thing. That might really be like...
It maybe doesn't reflect well on the university. Also,
no, but I also think the Epstein thing was the bigger issue, you know? Yeah, wasn't ASU referenced in the Epstein files like...
It was like one guy
2,800 times or something.
It was one guy who worked at ASU, and they were very close.
They were really chatting. Yeah,
I do know that Epstein did fund a bunch of evolutionary psychology programs. Maybe not a bunch, maybe just one, but he was very invested in the field of evolutionary psychology. Specifically, I think to go so he could say, yeah, it's actually really natural to want to
date 14-year-old women.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, date's not even the word. I just, to be more, human friendly right now. I do think though it is funny that we aren't like pulling. Okay, maybe I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to talk about that part. But man, oh man, what an interesting time it is to be alive, huh? What a time. What a weird.
Unprecedented.
Because it was like, here are all the cartoonishly evil things that we make fun of people for believing, but they're actually all real. And like that's crazy. That's crazy.
It kind of broke my brain a little bit.
Yes,
I'm not gonna lie.
Because it's cartoonishly evil.
And it's just like, oh, well, I guess we just have to live in this world now and know this and everything.
In any other era of human, any other era of human history, I think people are just like pulling people out of houses. But like we have we have Temptation Island and Love on the Spectrum to watch. So
you know what that reminded me of? Also, speaking of cartoonishly evil, real quick, the Minions.
Oh yeah.
Should they not have been facilitating?
They were dormant.
Like I feel like
facilitating Epstein Island?
Like a little bit. It's like, what did they do that was so evil? They weren't even doing evil things.
Wait, I'm confused. Wait, when you say the minions, do you mean like Gru's minions?
The little yellow guy? Yeah. They're villains. They're like villain assistants. They didn't do anything evil. And we've seen some of the most evil things happen in the last like 10 years in America.
And never once have they been responsible.
Are they involved in this?
Maybe that just goes to show that there's another tier of
person alive, right? Like that's what they like help the most evil person.
That's what I'm saying.
So maybe we don't know him. Oh, so that's how it works. So they have like a duty to
doing some freak weird shit.
So wait, canonically, just so I understand, in like the mythos of Despicable Me, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the minions are bound to serve the individual who is like ontologically the greatest evil. Like it has to be, and there's a system for it.
Yes. Yeah. But they were dormant during World War II. They did
allegedly.
For the
However, the banality of evil does line up with that servitude. You know, like that is something that the banality of evil is a treatise on how fascist states like Nazi Germany come to be. How it's typically quite boring and it's just people showing up and doing their job. Just to give like a quick some.
Did a Minions movie come out in 2019?
Good question. Are you trying to figure out if they were in Wuhan?
Well, that was.
Are you conspiracy theorying right now?
They were around for Jeffrey Epstein. That's
okay, yeah. But maybe because they're so small, they were able to like.
You would think he would gravitate towards them even more.
Maybe he really liked the minions, and that made them maybe like I don't know. Maybe they're all in that weird temple on the island. Do you know what I mean? Whenever they go and they show what's going on the island on drone footage. And they have that, like, maybe they're down there hanging still. It does look like that'd be where the layer is, you know, like you'd go down.
If they would just release all of the files, we could get down to the bottom of this. But unfortunately,
if they would just self-incriminate already, I mean, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Why don't they just tell us that they did it? One day they will, and nothing will happen unless people get really mad. It's fun.
I mean, it's already kind of happened, right? Like it's
enough has been said to where, like, I am shocked at how little
this evidence.
I know. No guillotines. No guillotines have been made, surprisingly.
No,
but they did pivot really quickly to a war. So, like, they followed the playbook pretty well. They were like, "Hold on, Iran! Wait, look over there. It's Iran." And then we were like, "Hold on." No, we don't care this time. Yeah. But, that's also just what's great about being, and part of this truly funcking democracy, which I think we're all very grateful for. Guys, what are you excited about in 2026? What do you think the next half of the year has in store for you?
Tomodachi life, playing so much Tomodachi life where I live. I get to watch a world without war and without hatred and without evil.
Ooh.
And they live their happy lives on an island. And the most disliking that can happen is they just don't fuck with the personality.
I can think of people who are living a happy life on an island.
Who?
The minions.
Yeah. Now that Epstein's gone, they can just hang out. No, I think that maybe that's the real joy of the Tomodachi. Maybe that's the value proposition is look at this perfect world you can create free of war and famine and pedophilia. Even though people also would do that in The Sims, but then they would just be like, this is the prison where I keep the neighbors that I don't like, you know?
Yeah.
And
there's no prisoners on my island.
No, not yet. One day the rage will transmute.
No, I would just want to watch them be happy. It's peaceful. It's nice.
Do you guys have any weirdly sadistic things that you used to do in games as a kid? That when you look back on it, you're like,
Yes, Sims.
What would you do? Oh, you're a Sims girly, Julia?
Oh yeah.
Okay, break us down. What's your relationship to The Sims?
I mean, most recently, my most recent gameplay, I haven't been able to play for a little bit. But I had a vampire lesbian couple that would lure men in, and then I would kill them, and I started a graveyard in my backyard.
You're writing Yuri right now. You don't even realize you wrote Yuri.
That was Yuri.
Yeah,
and then you kill them in all different ways. You know what I mean?
What's your favorite execution method in The Sims? Arthur, pay attention.
Oh, man. God, there's so many. What's my favorite?
I was partial to trying to set a carpet on fire.
Sometimes I like to make little mazes for them. and then there's like no door, so then they just walk around and then they get stuck and they literally go insane. But then you really like unlock really cool ways to kill like your Sims. And a lot of times, like after you kill so many, they end up just haunting each other, and then they get scared to death, and just like weird stuff will happen.
So you're building like a ghost colony, essentially.
Yeah,
a gay vampire ghost colony
right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should write that down, make a clip. I don't know.
I just want to say, if she ever's like,
want to go to a
cornfield type beat, harvest festivals.
Yeah.
If you ever feel like suddenly there are like new walls around you, I'd pay attention to that, But you also have to remember that she can't put like a third eye view of it, so it would probably be less satisfying.
Yeah.
What do you do when you just need a quick kill, Like, well, how do you take him out?
A quick kill?
Yeah, like quick. No.
In Sims?
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to clarify. What is the fastest way? I mean, I guess it depends on the Sim stats. Like you can drown them pretty easily.
They drown quick. You take away that ladder. Yeah. Well, actually, I feel like they've gotten good at
one of those things where they can't come back from it. Like there's no saving them. No fire. Sometimes they can survive the fire.
True, and that's embarrassing.
I must have had bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they did. I can't swim.
Wait, you can't swim, Arthur?
Yeah.
Well, how? What was it just not? I guess maybe like swimming is a big thing here in the US. I don't know.
The German educational system pretty much, well, I don't want to say forced us, but very highly encouraged us to all learn swimming at a young age. And if you don't learn at a young age, you get a second chance to learn it in like middle school. Yeah, middle school, I think.
Okay. But since you said no to both?
How'd you dodge it?
No, I know how to do it.
Wait.
No, I didn't dodge it.
Why did I think you said that you don't know how to swim? You said you do? Did I totally misinterpret it? Oh my God.
Oh, okay.
But
I don't know. I don't know why I thought you said you didn't. Have you ever played The Sims, Arthur, or are you just a competitive gamer?
So my sister, whose name is Julia, used to play when I was a kid, and I would watch her play Sims.
Yeah, how would you I think that there are two kinds of Sims players. There's the sadistic type and there's the horny type, and there's nothing really else happening. It's either about
both.
Oh, yeah, well, obviously in your Yuri fan fiction you're creating there, absolutely. Yeah, you can meld them. But I know you're either a woohoo main or a death by fire main, there's not a lot else.
With Wicked Whims, you can kill Sims off in different ways too. Like they can get like diseases and stuff.
Do you want to go ahead and explain what that is?
Whoa.
Wicked Whims?
Mm-hmm.
So you know how games had different mods?
Of course.
It's just a modification in the game that makes Sims a little bit more realistic.
So you're making him bang. This is what I'm getting here. This is banging. Okay.
There's so much more to just the banging wake,
Okay, well, can you build it out?
More realistic? Is that like they come with the?
Well, they can have periods, and they get.
So
they get STDs sometimes.
Whoa. Why is it Wicked Whims? Why is it wicked?
Because it's wicked cool.
I feel like
you
there's something
addicted to drugs.
So curious, your sadistic man-eating vampire couple.
Yes.
Were you making him? Were you making him bang? It's Yuri. It's Yuri. It's Yuri. You wrote Yuri. You wrote Yuri.
Characters for a very long time. Sometimes it just happens.
You didn't know the word, but it existed inside of you all along. That's the beauty. It was there all along. Well, guys, I do want to say, I've kept you until midnight. I want to give you guys an out now because you're more than welcome. You've given me a ton of time. Would we like to take this out? Let's go ahead and say yes or no here. You are not going to poop the party. This is legitimately the run time of the show typically. That's why I ask.
I'm hungry.
Okay, yes.
I'm hungry.
Yes, good.
I need to go get carrots and food, so
yes.
I will take this out.
Good.
But thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is
You're
always
very
so much
welcome.
fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
If you want to say sayonara, you can sign out, and mods will spam the
Goodbye,
links.
everyone. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me, Wake.
Charlie, you're amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
I will also take my leave. Oh, so sorry.
Well, no, you take your leave first, and then I'll do it after.
Wow, you guys are all assholes.
No, I'm really hungry. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave.
This is literally the extent of the show. I just say because sometimes people are like, no, I want to keep going. Like I've had that happen before. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to like, cut it off. But, this is, we did our time, like, it goes on YouTube.
I love you all so much. I wish many blessings upon you. Goodbye.
As I do you. Thank you so much. Nut, you're outie. You had a long day of shooting.
Yeah, I have to I'm very behind on a ton of house stuff.
Okay, perfect. Go unpack those boxes.
But also that being said, I was like 2 hours late. That was my bad.
I'm going to bring you on a future date. Okay.
You're just saying that.
No, I'd love to have you like as many times you like to come on. I don't know if you know this. I'm constantly begging people, so this is great.
I would love to. Whatever you need. I don't have anything going on, and I think you're a great guy.
As I do you. I would love that, dude.
Would look at that. But yes, it was a pleasure.
Likewise, baby.
Hell yeah, brother.
Bye, Nara.
And goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Nara.
Bye.
Okay, so I have to talk to you guys right now, okay?
Okay.
From the bottom of my heart, I feel terrible because I ran a Gooner show today, and you guys are so polite and normal, okay? I did not incorporate nearly enough of you guys, and that is on me. I brought together a cast that was of chaos. It was 2 Gooner core, and that's on me, okay? There's got to be more love.
We are the pegger community. What are you talking about?
I don't know what that means. Actually, what are you saying? No, I do. Well, no, okay, I can infer, but I did not know that this was new lore. What do you mean you're the pegger community?
Yeah, well, welcome to the Pegger community. Yeah, that's us.
So is the Pegger community a sort of like subsidiary of the sort of like NMP LOL cinematic? Like, is this you two? Are you guys the Peggers, or is Nick also a part of the Pegger? Who's there?
We had to kind of rebrand the Poggers,
Yeah.
and it just naturally kind of came a thing with the, in the Peggers community. So.
What I think it does quite well is it disempowers the men in the dynamic, which is the problem historically with the Poggers community. So it is creating a better narrative. I think for the general public, it's more digestible,
Really well said.
Which we like, it's everyone's getting smart thinking, guys. I appreciate that. Really though, how are you guys having fun? Is the house amazing? I need to come visit. I feel very bad that I haven't yet.
Oh my gosh, yes, you should. It's been amazing.
You almost said thank you in Chinese, by the way.
So...
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
Oh no, I was just saying, it's a move at the end of the day, so it's exhausting, but it's also really fun. So
well, I have a lot of really fun, like normal content I like to do because I wake up now actually at 10. It's very exciting. So I stream in the day. It's very fun. So
I noticed.
I would love to do some fun things with you guys. Oh my God, Maple, thank you so much for the raid. Holy shit. Guys, big shout out. But I really appreciate you guys coming on. I have not done it. I would love to structure another cast for you guys in the next month or two and bring you guys on and like really nail what is good, because it's always a new math. And I'm like, I just hope you guys didn't feel like I wasn't including you enough. I felt very bad.
Not at all.
I want to speak sincerely. Like, thank you so much for letting me come on, because all things considered today, there was like perfect distraction. I know I talked so much today. It's kind of crazy. So sorry for that.
No, you really clogged the airway, but I forgive it.
But yeah, no, seriously, like any other time when you want me or us. Hey,
yeah, I would love that. I've got many ideas for casts, so thank you guys truly. I really appreciate you guys coming on. You saved my day because I didn't plan until the last minute, so I was very happy that you guys said yes.
It'd be like that sometimes.
But I do have a lot of fun stuff I want to do. I just want to thank you guys again and tell you I appreciate you. So
yeah, thank you, Wake.
Thank you guys. All right. But I'm gonna go have fun, sleep, do your thing. Also, Arthur, let me know if you need anything.
Oh no, no worries.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. Okay, guys.
All right. Well,
bye, chat. Bye,
guys. Mwah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Wilder show. That is the Wilder side with Wake Wilder. I just want to say thank you all for coming. Typically, this is where I would end stream, but today I'm kind of addicted to watching this show called Alone at night. So I'm not ending. We're going to watch Alone for at least a few hours because I took my Vyvanse super late for the show, and all I want to do is rip more TV. So everyone settle down real quick. I just want to give a shout out to everyone who comes on. You guys know, like the Julias and the Arthurs and the Blaus and, like the fans of the stream, but I just want you guys to know that like people like Enemy Charlie, I think Charlie's so funny. She's so smart. Her commentary is awesome. I really want you guys to check her out. You know, I really want you guys to, you know, support a guy like Nut. I want to have Nut on my stream. Okay. I want to have the streamer Nut come on and like watch some of the Nectar stuff together, doing like a shared chat thing, because he's just super funny. There are just a lot of people that I'm really grateful for. Sometimes I get really lost in my own like ideas and I'll like talk about yaoi manga too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed the variety discourse. It's super fun. The people are so cool. I feel very lucky to have such good friends who are willing to show up every time. So I just want to say like they're great and amazing, and I want you to support them all, man. Thank you guys for enduring some of the more dense conversation. That was a little less fun. Thank you guys for being there for when it got stupid. Rune is amazing, but oh my God, I almost forgot to shout out Rune. Rune is like a spine of the show. I can always count on her coming in and being like so like open-hearted and goofy. I feel very lucky to have the friends that I do in the streaming world. So thank them first and foremost, guys. You're all amazing, and I'm grateful for you.